Try and lean down in your mics. It's going to be futile.
Check.
All right. What are we up to?
Kicking the freaking slides off. It's getting way too sweaty on the feet.
And you're from Cairns. I'm a fucking polar bear from Tassie.
All right.
Yeah,
The podcast.
I'm full struggler now.
The podcast is starting. We have one Tawley.
One shorty
One Tawley of Great Northern. Jats is
on the kombucha.
Jats is sipping on some booch.
Fucking athlete.
And it's about to be a weird podcast, which I'm all right with.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be the most unprofessional one you've ever.
Oh, 100%. All right, so I'm going to introduce my guests. First of all, directly in front of me in the fucking epic unicorn and kitty cat shirt from Walmart in Temecula.
Temecula, $8.
Is Sam Moore.
I'm sure they're sold out by now, so don't bother trying to get
100%.
Don't
even
bother trying to get one.
Yeah.
Don't even bother.
They'll be
Not
sold
a chance. Not a chance. You will
This
find
one's
one
for
in
sale
stock.
though to the highest bidder if anyone wants it.
Go on auction. And to my left is Jackson Richardson, the two-time Australian Supercross Championship
Oh, stop it.
in the Pro Lights class.
Far out. That's got a good ring to it.
Jeez, he's a professional-looking young lad too.
Yeah. You know, I thought we're gonna get down to talking about some serious business, so I put on my best kit in terms of this freaking podcast.
So tonight's Lit Kit Award. The shirts are comparable, but he tops it with the leopard print hat.
Yep. I fucked
And
up with
over
that.
ear. Yeah. No, you're repping Fist though. Tonight's podcast is brought to you by nobody.
Nah, it's brought to you by Fist Hand.
Oh, it's brought to you. I was going to get to that. It's brought to you by nobody, but we are charitable folk here at Gypsy Tales.
That's true.
So this instead of having a sponsor, what we've got a GoFundMe page that's set up, and it's actually
full
it's
gyppo.
it's not
Full
what you
gypsy.
think. It's not what you think. It's set up to get Jackson Richardson an aftermarket exhaust pipe.
Yes.
So go on to our fake GoFundMe page and let's get let's donate some money. Let's get Jackson Richardson an exhaust. He's running a full factory setup.
Yeah.
And by factory I mean straight from Japan, rock stock and two smoking barrels.
Hashtag get Richo horsies. That's where we're at right now.
The Richo Pony Fund.
Oh, classic.
The Richo Feed the Pony
Yeah.
Fund.
Feed the
Feed It
flamingos. All right, so and then I was going to get to it, but it's also brought to you by Fist Handwear.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to wear some gloves and I was going to do but then I forgot.
You should have told me because I've got heaps of them.
Do you have any of them?
A few.
You've got a couple.
I actually don't have as many as I would like at the moment because they're all sold out. But
That's not a bad thing.
that's not a bad thing. But I mean, I could have dug something up for you. I
That's all right. But
One thing you're definitely not mad about is running out of stock.
That's true.
something you cannot be
that's
mad
a decent
about.
issue.
Yeah.
So, Sam is from Fist Handwear. He is one of my all-time greatest friends. We went and had dinner the other night, and we were just sort of saying that Sam's like one of the OG people on my journey of this whole whatever the fuck it is I do.
Gypsy life.
Yeah,
it's called.
gypsy life. Yeah, and Sam can actually relate to the whole gypsy name. He's actually part of the syndicate that coined the term.
Syndicate.
The Gypsy Syndicate.
I like it.
Of Johnny McLean, Cam Williams, and Sam Moore. They coined the gypsy name. So for anyone that's wondering where the whole gypsy thing come from, it actually has a lot to do with the gentleman in front of me.
So does that mean between us we like
royalties,
we all
yeah.
like own shares in Gypsy
royalties.
Tales? Yeah, cool. Yeah, perfect. I thought so. I need to
So
start playing with that.
Sam, we started doing the MX Nationals. Actually, before we go too far, we need to give a shout out to Maddie McFarren. We're actually we're in the Gold Coast Creative House. So this is a new venture started in Burleigh. We always film in Burleigh. Normally we film in my brother's warehouse, true gypsy style.
Which is very gypsy. I actually drove there by mistake and not here. And
Sam thought that's where we were going.
Well, I just assumed because that's what you do.
And so yeah, we're not there because we needed a bit of extra room. We got a couple of us on. First time having a threesome on the podcast. Me and Sam have had another threesome before. First time having an all-male threesome. That's a lie. That's
pure lie.
That's just a
joke.
joke.
Everyone knows we would never do that.
It's just a joke. But yeah, so Matty Mac said, come on down. He's got the Gold Coast studio, which is I'm pointing to it, but it's over the other side. So the building's split in half. Al Hardy, and the Dreamers, and then Max also has
From Death Collective.
Yes, from Death Collective. He's also a badass designer. So he has those two boys have the other side. So if you're in Burleigh or in the Goldie or even in southeast Queensland, really, there isn't a better studio facility, I don't think. So we're shooting this out of there tonight. So yeah, that gets rid of the sponsors that give us no money, but all help out in some way. And don't forget, please log on to the fake GoFundMe page. We need to get Jackson ponies. It's the it's the Jackson Pony Fund.
Do you actually have an exhaust sponsor?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
You've exhausted your exhaust sponsor.
We are fully exhausted out of exhaust.
So, Jats, who are you riding for this year, mate? Let's get real. Who are you riding for?
I mean, let's just get down to the nitty gritty. Nah, I'm back with Honda now, with CRF Honda Racing, the 250 Honda team for this year, and I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I've ridden Hondas for years. I've loved it, and it was good to get an opportunity to come back and ride for it. Been riding the bike for a bit and I'm freaking loving it. Yeah, thing's awesome. As per
Instagram, it seems like you are having fun on the big dog.
Yeah.
It does get fed regularly.
Oh, there is no shortage of feeding on Big Rhonda at the moment. Like, she is just getting flogged.
Yeah, no, and so I guess it's been a bit of a running joke that the team's still getting there. Well, it's a brand new bike for starters, so there's just not really that many pipes, but I've been giving Jat shit because my Screaming Eagle has an exhaust and his bike doesn't, and I'm about as far away from factory as you could get.
At the moment, the Screaming Eagle would definitely be blowing my doors off on track.
But
and with you on it, I'm definitely getting blown away for sure.
Well, it's actually been, Todd said this on the podcast that we recorded before this but isn't out yet, and this will probably go out after, but he said that he's glad that I'm back riding because, and especially riding with Toby, because I'm kind of helping young Toby out.
So, 100%.
And we haven't got a chance to ride yet, but I am glad as well. And I mean, you've got 2 titles. Sam, he also has his YZ 250.
Well, I've actually got a couple of titles too, but they're C-grade Tasmanian ones.
A couple of 2-stroke gods I'm sitting with. I'm quite privileged.
Yeah.
Nah, well, look, mate, you've earned it.
Tooting a legend.
You've earned it. So yeah, Jat's back with CRF Racing. You're just gonna don a number 1 again this year in Supercross. How's that feel?
Far out, mate. Well, that's the plan. I mean, it's gonna be tough again. So many freaking fast dudes.
Mate, the question was, you're gonna don. Are you running the number 1 play?
Am I gonna run it?
You're running it. It's on.
Well, yeah, of course, bro. Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Nah, I'm excited for it, and probably the biggest off-season news, I guess, is the A team's back. You and Pedro.
Oh, bro. The band is back together. biggest announcement of the off-season by far. Oh, 100%.
Pedro and Jats doing their thing, back on. So, yeah, it should be a good year. You'll be at all the greatest tracks Australia has to offer. And the room goes silent.
Okay. Crickets.
And
then there was crickets.
Yeah. No, it'll be good. It'll be a good year. So yeah, we've really come into this podcast with absolutely nothing to talk about. A couple beers, some kombucha. So look, just wanted into this thing. It's bound to get good.
Oh mate, you just got to let nature take its course on this one. And
Speaking of nature, I do actually have a couple of questions here. One from
here we go.
Maddie McAlpine.
This one will be good. We're getting straight into it. Yeah,
it's bound to be a doozy.
So Maddie would like to know where did Jackson's dad learn to catch and wrestle crocodiles?
Oh yeah, we should tell this story.
Oh man.
So I'll set it up. Jats can deliver the goods here.
Yeah.
So Jats is part of our little Cairns crew that
the Cairns
the Cairns boys. So for some reason, like everybody in our crew when we were growing up has like done something weird, and it's me and Todd. Well, we were talking about it the other day, but I guess we sort of started, or Todd said like that he was probably the first dude that him and Jats would have been on a 50, Todd was on like a 60 or an 80 when you guys first went to like Australian titles. Yeah. And no one had really gone from Cairns and done well at Aussie titles. So up until you and Todd went away, there was this, it was just like there's nothing really up there.
They're just trailblazers.
But honestly they were.
They were trailblazing.
But then you see from when Todd and Jats won their first titles. Now, like, name the kids that are from Cairns that have just crushed it in the Australian scene. You've got Jats, Richo, 2-time Australian supercross champion. Worldwide.
Prestige worldwide.
So, yeah, but you've got Jats that's won a couple Aussie titles. Todd that has crashed out of 500 points leads and not raced the last 8 races and lost the title by 2 points. So he's done that a couple of times.
Good on you, Todd.
Podiumed in the World Championship. So, I mean, then you've got Wade, who's probably one of Australia's more naturally talented guys on a dirt bike. Yeah. You've got Mitch. You've got Richie, who has a factory-supported ride this year. You've got Caleb Ward, who raced in Europe. You've got Riley Ward coming up, who is going to be pretty good as well. So, I mean, there's definitely... Get professional, mate. Can't you see what we're doing? So, you know, like, obviously there's something that sparked in Cairns with you two. So... We digressed from the question. The question was about crocodiles.
Yeah, get back to it. Hang on. 1 minute we're talking about crocs. Next minute we're just naming a plethora of freaking North Queensland shredders.
So, all right, to get back to
anyway, crocodiles.
It's all about where's there a lot of crocodiles?
Let's finish the Cairns thing.
North Queensland.
Yeah.
You were getting right into
Tons of them.
So anyway, Jats's old boy Pete, Richo, as everyone likes to call him. That's why we call Jats Little Richo. Because there is a big Richo.
Fair enough.
There is definitely a big Richo.
And he is savage.
Savage.
Savage Richo.
Hey,
so the scene
he's the epitome of savage and I am just average.
No. You're in between savage and average. You're savage.
Yeah, I'm savage. Yeah, I'm right on the cusp.
You're on the upper end of savage.
Yeah.
To
be honest, he's got a few years to...
He's got.
I'm just a young puppy in the game, you know.
I want to go back to that later as well. That's another little question about Richo being a pup in the game. Yeah. But so we set it up, North Queensland. That's where we're all from. Take it away, Jats. Pete wrestling crocodiles.
Shit. Well, freaking, you're going about how you freaking teach someone to catch crocs, but far out, there was nothing that he got taught about catching crocs. There was one night there. I think. I forget when it was. It was like his first ever attempt, what you'd call it, at catching one.
So there's so many crocodiles in Cairns that you actually get practice. So this isn't just
more than one attempt.
Yeah, you can get a few. But so there was this one. It was only like, would have been like 3 foot long. So it was only tiny.
So it's practically a gecko.
Practically a gecko.
But that's pretty big for crocodiles anywhere else other than there, though, right?
Yeah. So anyway, he's like, he had a net there just in case he come across one of these bad boys. And then, so he spots this little 3-footer in the little mulgrave just behind the house. And then, so he's like, we're talking, Jats is missing the detail that it's probably 20 meters behind the house. So he's like, just behind the house. Like, you don't have to drive there. Like, it's 20 meters away. Yeah, so he goes down, and before this, he's like, shoot, I haven't thrown the cast net in a while. I got to freaking practice this. Throws it on the dog, the little bluey, to freaking get a test run in. And then he goes, all right, sweet. I've freaking got this freaking dialed. Goes down there, throws a net over this thing, and he jumps on it. And he reckons he freaking absolutely shit himself because the thing was like twice as strong as it looked, and it tried to freaking roll him in. And he ended up catching the thing, and he threw it in the back of that F truck that he had at the freaking time. And then, so like, man, he freaking left it in there. He went to go somewhere, and he come back, and the thing freaking was flailing around, flopped out of the back of the truck, And then the cast net got caught on the thing, and then you got this croc just freaking just death rolling on the side of his freaking Effie. But yeah, shoot, he was like far out. I thought that thing was gonna kill me at one point. This little freaking 3-footer. I wouldn't tackle anything bigger than that.
Did he end up? Was there another time that he got a bigger one?
I think that was out of Loomba one night, and this was full sketch as well. in the dark. In this creek where you know there's freaking heaps of them, and he goes in there and he's like, oh, well, by this point, you got to mention he's got a few rum cans under him, so like the courage is freaking going way up.
Are we talking like 6-pack?
Oh yeah, we're definitely talking way over a 6-pack by this point. So you know, fear is not holding him back whatsoever.
What croc?
Yeah, what croc? He's like freaking 3-footer, 6-footer, no big freaking deal.
Yeah, I've had minutes of practice.
Heaps of bundies and minutes of practice.
He's like, I freaking nailed one. Freaking surely I've got this one. Goes in the creek like up to freaking his neck, trying to catch this freaking thing. And then once again, it's freaking death rolling, doing its thing, and he said, the moment I knew I had to get out of this was when I got in. Was when I looked up the river and there was 2 more sets of eyes there, and I was like, yeah, I think now's my time to freaking.
Like, you fucking with my brother?
Yeah.
I've seen way too much Nat Geo. Way too much Nat Geo. So yeah, Pete's a wild man.
Pete, he's a freaking animal.
There was a time, I don't know whether Todd's ever told his old man he was drinking. I'm gonna just throw it out there that Steve won't listen to this.
Let's just let it all out right now.
Should we just go full blown honesty?
I think we need to go.
I reckon we need Toddy to defend himself.
Nah. This is what's fun
Toddy
about
does not deserve to be here to defend himself at all.
Yeah, Triple B. He doesn't deserve it.
Yeah. That's another story, but I'm gonna freaking save it for a bit later on. But yeah,
we'll get back to that. Yeah. So the boys, Maddie, Todd, Weaver, Bappo, the whole little crew that they had going on back in. I gotta move this way. The whole little crew they had going back in the day. They used to do like a every year they would go to some form of New Year's kind of boys on tour party, they called it.
The boys on tour.
And boys on tour.
What a group.
It has, let me tell you, it has escalated over time. So like this was maybe their first year of doing boys on tour. And they went camping at Ross and Lock. So pretty mellow. So then Jats would have been, I had my learners. So
Jats was 3.
Yeah, I was 16 at the time. So 16, 9 months, I had my learners. And so how old are you now?
Bro, I just turned 23. I'm a freaking vet.
Yeah, you are a vet now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 more years and you'll be in a vet class.
Yeah,
and,
100%. Yeah.
So yeah, Jats is younger than me then, if that's the case.
So anyway, Jats is younger than you.
I don't want to do the math on air.
So anyway,
Jats is actually younger than me too, crazily.
So I'm gonna avoid doing the math on air. But yeah, Jats is probably 13, 14, roughly, full estimation, ish, give or take 4 or 5 years, just to give me some leeway. And so we're out at the Thompson Road block, which at the time I think had a rally track on it for the Bombers.
Yes.
So
yes, it did.
Thompson Road had a supercross track, or like a stadium track under lights. It had like a flat track that we used to kind of speedway. It was just like a little playground for all of our little crew. We all went there Tuesdays, Thursday nights and rode there. Had a 50 track at the time, and then a bomber track. So Pete went and got a bunch of like old shit Commodores and whatnot. And so we went there for just a little Christmas. I actually think it was the RBS Christmas party.
Damn right it was.
So there was a couple
freaking littest thing of the year.
It was lit. it was lit AF.
Litmus.
It was hashtag fire emoji. And so then we go out, and there's definitely been a few drinks. There was one sober driver. And
that was you, Jason.
No. I was a learner, so there had to be a sober person in the car. Right. So then we took.
So that was Jack.
So
I had to jump in and steer the vessel out to this place.
So Maddie and the boys are out there, and like, this is Todd, full goody 2 shoes. Like, he's never, he's got a factory KTM ride, and so we get out there. We drive out to try and ambush him, and Pete had some.
Which Pete are we talking about?
Richo.
Pete Richo.
Yeah, big Pete Richo.
There's a couple
So
of
we may have had some kind of. They weren't fireworks, but they were similar things that were super legal in Queensland.
So explosives.
No. They were like fireworks, but they were, because fireworks are illegal in Queensland where the story takes place. They were similar to fireworks. They were all super
they were
legal.
Very similar.
They were like these party poppers on steroids.
Yeah. They were like, they were a lot of party poppers.
Yeah.
So then we've decided
Rolled into one.
to go and ambush the boys' party.
Oh, yeah.
But they're all like
With
drinking
party poppers.
They're all drinking beers.
Yeah.
So Todd's like going, fuck, I don't want anyone to know that I'm drinking beers. So we rock up and we park the car, turn the lights off, and like, it's full on forward driving to get down there. And so we get
So
down
it's
there.
sketchy.
No, it's not sketchy, but it was just like, it's off the track. Like, it's fully off the beat. You wouldn't, unless you knew where they were, you could never find them, kind of thing. But we knew where they were. So yeah, we get down there, and then we throw all these sparklers and party poppers at them.
Fireworks like things.
It's similar to fireworks. And yeah, Todd's freaking out.
Not fireworks though.
No, not fireworks.
No.
So Todd's freaking out because he's not supposed to be drinking, and there's just beer cans and rum cans and shit everywhere. And so they're on the side of a river. So Todd just splits, man, and like jumps in the river and starts swimming downstream.
He thought it was like National 9 News.
Yeah.
Come to get him.
Yeah, he was like shitting himself. So anyway, it turned out to just be us with some party poppers. And then Pete may have been drinking to where he jumped into and my dad did it as well. They made like a rope swing. So then Pete's like, oh, I could backflip for sure.
Oh, this sounds fantastic.
And then dad in all his glory just does like the big swing into Ross and Lock, the big backflip, just.
What a mad dog.
Oh, so anyway, good times. Pete was a classic.
Both the Petes.
Both Petes.
Both Petes, and they're funny together.
Pete squared.
Far out.
Pete and Hughesy. And all
now
that
is a show.
And then
right
just
there.
pull up a chair.
Yeah.
I want to see a podcast with those two.
Oh,
Dude, Pete on the pod, like
Get
big
Richo.
get like 4 or 5 of us all together with Pete and Hughesy in here, and just a few rum cans, and then just let the show go on.
What you really need is like somewhere where it's a natural amphitheater set up. So everybody just gets like some cheese and crackers, and then just give Pete and Hughesy
the microphones and just let them go.
Let it go.
Just give them a bit of line.
Yeah, just the stories are out of control. So while we're on, my question for Jats in our little reply to his stories was regarding you being a pup in the game.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Do you feel after seeing Boys on Tour 2017 and Australia Day? Pardon me, got a bit of Northern coming up here. So after seeing Australia Day and Boys on Tour 2017, because you had a pretty good off season. I don't think it's a secret.
I definitely feel like I had one of the more productive off seasons of everyone. I believe, yeah.
I think that
Give me a few dot points. Like, what did you do?
he rode a ripstick on the dance floor of the biggest nightclub in Cairns.
Yeah. Well, really, it just went from when Jimboomba finished, really, to just every weekend back in Cairns, just going out on the town, just every weekend in a row.
You know what we need in this podcast? I need you to find there's a picture of me and Jats at the Supercross after party.
Dude, I've got that thing saved.
Fucking amazing.
Oh.
It's very weird.
It is like the best duo of all time. Just
So the man in pink flamingo polo and a leopard print hat has a photo that looks weird.
I had
Honestly,
a watermelon shirt on that night, believe it or not.
We're dressed pretty similar to this.
Oh, it was pretty much like, this is pretty much how we looked on the night, to be honest.
Except you were wearing some kind of satchel.
Oh, yeah. I freaking found that thing just sitting there and I freaking put it on.
Oh my god. So yeah, back to that. Where's your level? Because you've obviously like you're feeling like, oh, you know, 1-2 Supercross championships. I haven't got any bikes. I'm gonna drink on the weekends, but I'm still gonna train. Yeah, and then Boys on Tour happens, and your party vibes of how hard you thought you send it. Where did they rank after Boys on Tour?
Well, really, I thought definitely in terms of partying, I thought, you know what, I'm putting in the work. I'm going pretty ham.
We're talking like one
Like
flamingo shirt.
Oh,
Where are you sitting?
Shoot, you know what? I felt like I was at about an 8 because, like, man, very rarely you go to a freaking flamingo shirt. Like, that is just on another level. And then, you know what? I thought I was going good. I was putting in a few solid weeks.
Back to back. And then on my birthdays when the boys on tour showed up, and it was then that I learnt that, boy, I am just a really, really small puppy in the game compared to these lads. And we're talking like not even a puppy you can actually take home yet. Like we're talking
like newborn with its eyes aren't open yet.
Yeah, we're talking like a puppy where you go to the breeder and you say, I really like the look of that one, and they say come back in 6 weeks.
Or its eyes aren't open yet.
So we're not even talking like a puppy that's shitting in the house. So yeah, got a bit of a surprise, I think. And then
it's definitely an eye opener.
And then Australia Day was even weirder for you.
Oh, dude, far out. That went from like far out.
Explain, because Toby didn't want to get into it. So let's get into it for Toby.
Yeah, you know
can
what?
Can I just tell everyone that I was actually in Tasmania riding mountain bikes at this time, just so I was nothing to do with any of this.
Well, you know what? We're gonna freaking fill you in on the whole enchilada right now, my friend.
Full enchilada.
Full enchilada. Yeah.
So how was it, Jats?
Well, dude.
How did it start?
Well,
because it started quite nice.
It was pretty mellow, you know. Like I thought, you know what? This is going to be pretty chill.
Friends.
Barbecue, few snags, as you do on Australia Day. Yeah, you know.
Hashtag Australia.
Hashtag Australia. And, you know, freaking everyone just decided, you know what? We are going to flick the switch and freaking just start feeding the freaking dog right now.
They went full flamingo shirt.
They went from 0 to freaking full flamingo shirt. That's how it went.
So for the people that may have seen the stories before they were deleted, we ended up with a monster athlete in a Red Bull driving suit on a KTM in the kitchen he was doing like a half skid, and then Toby's like, I don't know if this bike's ever been at half throttle, because it was the one
it's not used to this.
No, it was the one that he won Fink on. So he went, all right, it's probably time I just do the right thing here and just press send on this bad boy.
Well, the dog was hungry and I wanted to get fed.
The dog was hungry.
It's like you get to the point where you're like, well, you know what? I've come this far. I'm going to freaking give it the whole chips and salsa.
Guac is extra. I know guac is extra.
Yeah, I know. Shut your mouth, freaking.
Give me the avocado.
I want the chips and dippy.
I don't care if it's $2 extra. Yeah. I've come this far. So it ended up, me and Jats went, this is how much of a puppy Jats is. We went home at 10 p.m. and 10 p.m. They didn't go to bed, and Jats goes, wow, I'm a student of the game. And I just said, mate, this is early.
Mate, I have got my L plates on.
Yeah, yes. So that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, I need to have a notepad on me at all times because this is going to be a part of the apprenticeship.
Jats was taking audio notes on his phone.
He's like, what you got to do is if you get real hammered.
But it was funny because like so many dudes and this is on a serious note, so many guys in professional motocross are so like hush about what they do. That like everyone's having a beer with your friends. If you don't have to go to a race on Saturday, have a beer. And I think
or a kombucha.
Or a kombucha. Well, see, this is the thing. He's racing on the weekend, so he's on some cherry plum booch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when you're in an off season, be in an off season. So I think it's like people want to hide that they are, and then I think people were like, "Oh, Jats has been drinking," and then it's like, well, Jats's version of drinking and
different to the rest of our version.
Yeah. So it's like on the outside, you see a guy on a ripstick on the Gilligan's dance floor, which is commendable.
Dressed like Dora the Explorer.
Yes.
So yeah, for anyone that's given Jats heat about a couple parties on over the off season, just get on your bike, mate. Go.
Learner.
Yeah. He's still a student. He's got a long way to go. He might have had a couple rumbos here and there, but look, when it comes to
he's chasing them with that kombucha.
If you want to throw the partying tag on it, Jats will admit he's the first to admit he still doesn't
straight
party.
On me.
Where do we go from here? Let's go to the questions. We'll keep some questions rolling. Sambo?
Yeah.
Did you get any?
What else have I got? Yeah, I got a couple.
Sawley sent a question. Jack
did.
said he'd talk about everything, but I think pork sausage is probably...
Yeah, listen, that's a bit...
Come on, Sawley. Grow up, mate. You got 2 kids.
Oh, well,
Come on,
here we
mate.
go. Here we
Yeah.
go. So
Think of your family. Damn it.
I've got one from an absolute legend here. Old Quinny. Yeah, good thanks.
Oh.
On Instagram.
Oh,
he,
the epitome of a legend right
yeah.
there.
Is that his Instagram name? Yeah, good thanks.
Yeah.
That's good.
I know, you probably like him already.
What
just
a
from hearing that
fantastic
freaking
bloke.
name.
Yeah.
Anyway,
top bloke.
he wants to know on how you are planning on changing up your training this year to try and beat them at the after party title, because you have finished a close second 2 years in running in a row. But after that
Who too?
pretty much. To be honest, I don't think I know for a fact that Quinny can out party the shit out of you. So
100%. I'm always the bridesmaid every year at the
Never
after
the-
party.
never
right?
the bride.
Never the bride.
that's fair enough.
Always the bridesmaid.
All right, keep reading questions, Sam. Let's go.
I've also got here asking if from who we got from old Moylan here. He wants to know.
Yeah.
He wants to know
Hit me
if he's like, can you not wait to have kids so you've got a reason to be at the front of those schools in your van?
It's an eye load.
Yeah, far out. I mean,
So what's the 2-time Supercross champion got to say about that?
shit. I mean, what else is there to say? It's a pretty self-explanatory question. Nah.
Righto, Sam. What else we got? We got any more
Yeah,
bangers?
we got any? What have we got?
Crickets. Come on, boys.
Yeah.
See, this is why we don't do question
Well, you know
time.
what?
It's just
Well, you know what? I'm gonna freaking come in with some questions here. I got asked by a dude, local Cairns boy, that said, what was my biggest stunt on the rip surf? And well, that's a freaking easy one. Is just taking it on the D-pad in town that night. And not only that, it was my form of transportation from one club to the next club.
You know what I really want to know about that is how did you get a ripstick into a club?
It's Cairns.
No,
Dude,
fair enough.
One, it's Cairns. Two, I think they were pretty just shocked because they'd never seen anything like this before.
Like bold strategy card. Well, let's see how this one pays off.
I'm like, you know
let's
what?
just see
I'm
what
going to
happens.
freaking bring it in and I'm going to see how it goes. And no one said anything. And then they did start mentioning something when I was riding it on the D floor and I was towing other people through on the rip surf. And they were like, hey, you know what? Maybe you should leave that thing at the front desk and grab it on your way out.
check at coat check, and they give you a little tag that you put in your wallet.
Oh yeah, and then when you go back, you're like, what kind of coat do you got? Oh, it's actually a ripstick.
It's a mix between.
What is the mix between those?
It's a mix between
like a skateboard and a rollerblade.
Dude,
It's
like
a mix
the
between
cross-
your t-shirt and a skateboard and a scooter. I feel like that's a pretty accurate description.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
There was what other questions did we have? Do we have any more real ones?
Dude,
Like actual questions?
What, how gnarly are we going to go with these questions?
Is there super weird stuff?
I mean,
I didn't really
get
get it.
anything super weird, eh?
Just sorely.
Yeah, just sorely. Yeah, it's weird. And it's
Sorely
weirder because the man's got a family.
He's got responsibilities.
He's got
and shit.
responsibilities. He's got 2 kids.
This is the internet, Scott, and things live forever.
Hey
Things
Scott,
do
welcome
live-
to the internet.
Things do live forever. That is true.
Oh, Matty Mac with the red rooster. Oh, he's got
You
some
are kidding.
Stop it.
The freaking rooster. He's
the
done
Lord.
it.
Is Maddie actually the rooster?
This is actually what comes with every studio session.
So if you book a studio session,
It's $100 for the first hour. No, first 3 hours. 130 an hour for the first 3 hours? Yeah. So, and you get Red Rooster chips.
That's not bad.
I mean, Red Rooster is really the epitome of chips at the moment. That and Macca's, I feel.
If anyone from Red Rooster is listening, my friend Jackson, he is hunting a sponsor. A Red
Yes.
Rooster sponsor. On the Honda, it would look fantastic.
With a pipe.
The red
Yeah.
one, yeah, they could
It'd
even
look good with a pipe.
Pipe money.
100%.
hashtag pipe money.
GoFundMe.
We're on camera
Hashtag
switch
feed
now.
it fun.
Feed it fun. So while Jason's off, we should talk about him.
Yeah, definitely 100%. Let's start talking some crazy amount of shit about Jace.
I just feel like I'd have heaps of really good Jace stories. I need to have a really good think about it.
Oh, you definitely got to bust some out.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to have a think.
Oh, yeah.
There's some good ones for sure. I did go to his house once when it was his birthday, and I was randomly about 50 metres away from his house, and I didn't know that I was 50 metres away from his house. That was pretty funny.
That's a pretty solid gypsy story. So I think if you want to talk about like where the whole Gypsy Tales names come from, there's just situations I've been in my life where
things just work out.
It shouldn't work out,
but it just does.
And it does. And Sam just mentioned a story. It's not like something working out or not working out.
Well, it's not like anyone gained anything from it, apart from we had a good time.
No, we did gain in like
love,
I guess life.
In
Yeah,
love.
It was like it was a great moment. But there's just a weird thing that happens, and maybe it's like a thing that if you just say yes to everything and you just do stuff. Like, I guess
eventually it works out.
Yeah, like I guess the theory of it would be that if you say no to something, you know where it's going to go.
Yeah, it's no.
So like,
but if you say yes, you could end up anyway.
Yeah, like if your life sucks and you're like, nothing good ever happens to me, and then you don't actually
good shit
do
always
anything.
happens to us. It's hilarious.
But that's because we just do a lot of shit.
Do stuff.
So Sam is
just say yes to everything and then renege on it later when it sucks.
Yeah, exactly. So it's my birthday. I'm in the States. And then I posted when I had a house in Huntington Beach, and then I posted like maybe an Instagram story or something about.
No, this is pre-Instagram stories.
Was it?
Instagram stories have only been around for like 6 months, haven't they?
Yeah, that's
or a
true.
year, a year.
Oh yeah, the stories. Yeah, they only just come out.
Well, you wouldn't
bro.
know. That's like a third of your life. But
yeah, It only just started coming on when they started doing the live stuff.
But anyway, so we're in
Anyway, Sam finds out through some form of social media that it was my birthday,
and that you were having a beer.
Yeah, and I was having a beer at my house, and then he's like
in your lounge room with like one mate.
Yeah. Everyone. Sam was late to the party, but that doesn't matter. So I think there was one
long as
person
you get there, right?
Yeah, you were there. So yeah, Sam's like, "Hey man, I'm actually in Huntington Beach," and I was like, "No way, dude! It's my birthday.
What's your address?"
Yeah, come over.
So he sends me his address, right, and I put it into my maps. And he's literally like 200 meters away. So
no shit, dude.
So I'm at my real good mate Nick's house where we have our Fist USA headquarters.
Say that, it sounds
which
sick.
Is yeah, totally. It's actually
100% professional.
Listen, man, it's actually a spare room, but that's okay. And I'll put
Unit B.
Yeah, it's like Unit B, like. But yeah. So anyway, shout out to Nick because he's an absolute lord, and I was stoked that he lives really close to where Jace used to live, so that was good. Yeah, anyway, so I just like put into my phone whatever the address is, and he's literally 200 meters away. I'm like, I'll just walk over. So I literally just walked to his house. It was like 200 meters away.
And it would have been sick if it was any day.
But it was my birthday.
And I was drinking alone in America.
I was like, oh, hey man, what's going on? Oh, not much. It's my birthday. I'm just having a beer. I'm like, oh, sweet. I'm 200 meters away. I might come down and have one.
Yeah, it couldn't.
On the other side of the world.
Yeah, it couldn't have worked out any better.
He's from Cairns. I'm from Tasmania, and we're just randomly.
Somehow you just freaking come together in Huntington.
Yeah, we're just in Huntington Beach, 200 meters away.
Complete happenstance on my birthday. So that's why, like, we could talk forever about just the weird gypsy occurrences that have worked out. One of my favorites was when I was working with JDR. Nate, I was like so ready for it. So fucking unorganized at all times.
What do you mean?
Seriously, so
unorganized.
So unorganized.
I'm ready, coach. Put me in.
I do not believe it.
So...
You don't seem like the type of bloke that's unorganised, though.
Mate, this podcast was super on time.
Yeah, 100%. We're only an hour behind. I consider that a win.
It's actually not bad. Like, it didn't transfer into tomorrow or like...
Yeah. No, it wasn't like boys, sorry, we're going to have to do it again.
Oh, by the way. Yeah. No. Don't say that. We haven't finished yet.
But hey, we're doing it.
We're here. We're here. That's what
we are.
That's what matters. So yeah, I was quite unorganised, and I managed to do the first year I had my visa. working for JDR in the States.
Visa stories.
Yeah, visa stories get good too.
Oh yeah.
Jats knows about them as well.
Oh yeah.
So the first year I actually had my visa. So I had a visa to live in the US, which was a huge accomplishment to make that happen because there is a mountain of paperwork.
I remember you did like 500 trips to Sydney to the consulate.
It was just ridiculous. So I had a visa, which is quite hard to get to live in the US for 5 years. And
legally and another 4 illegally.
Yeah,
I am joking.
My 5-year visa.
That didn't happen, by the way.
It's kind of like the fireworks.
Yeah.
Allegedly you lived in the USA.
So we had. So the point is, I had something super hard to attain, but I couldn't get not that I couldn't get a Supercross media pass. I just didn't get a Supercross media pass, but I was Supercross media. So then Nate Ramsey is just going, mate, you've got to get a media pass. You've got to get a media pass.
You're like, I don't have to do shit. I'm the gypsy.
Yeah, I was like, haven't you heard, bro? Like, you obviously don't know how this
will
works.
just work out. Just chill.
You don't know how I've got to this point. I don't want to change anything. I'm here now. And I don't want to ruin it. Yeah. So we're at
Why would I plan for these things? We're stupid.
I'm not going to jinx it.
Yeah. I'm on a roll. It's been like 25 years now.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're at Atlanta Supercross, which is like round 8. And Atlanta used to be, it was like the second round of East Coast back then.
Yeah,
I think it was like Arlington and then Atlanta. So that was like the first, but Arlington's really not the East Coast, like the middle of the country. So Atlanta was the first big, let's get together and party for the East Coast. Because like you do the 8 rounds or 5 rounds of West Coast, and it's getting old by that point. You're partying with the same people. Bam, Atlanta comes around. Atlanta comes around, fresh crowd, DMXS party. Yeah, full blown Hotlanta. And we have the DMXS after party, which has been going on for like 140 years. It's actually older than Supercross. And
they started it. And then they were like, oh, there's this cool thing called Supercross we can talk about.
Yeah.
No, they started it and they were like, it's gonna happen. I know it. If we just keep doing this party, they're gonna bring Supercross to Atlanta. So that was on the Friday night. I was out till, I don't know, 3 in the morning. Get back to my hotel, staying with Nate, who's the team manager, one of the best motocross riders of all time. Nate's like, dude, you're an idiot. Go to bed.
And I was like,
I was like, all right, cool. I'll be up in 2 hours. Get up. Didn't miss my trip to the thing. No media pass. I get in. I always got in. I jump on a mule, like a rhino.
Did.
Yeah, I'll jump on a rhino.
You can talk your way into freaking anything, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what the story's about, bro.
Oh man.
So I get into the event, and then the whole night I'm shooting on the floor, which like people that work for Feld aren't even really allowed to do. So I'm shooting on the floor the whole time, uploading all these videos. Like no one's checking anything. Just got away for the whole 8 rounds of it. And then the pits in Atlanta are like a real fuck around to get in and out of. So if you don't have a pass, like have you raced Atlanta before?
Yeah, heaps of times.
So the pits are shit to get in and out of there as a
is it like one of those ones that they don't have trucks and you just like they put all their...
No, you've got trucks, but they're like it's all undercover, so it's not like one of those so it's like a separate car park kind of thing.
Right.
So then you've got to go down. When you're in industry seating, they just check every single credential. It's like it's the Fort Knox of Supercross races. So this was like my Ocean's 11. All right, this was my moment. So we're there and I'm behind Nate. We watch the mains, and then Nate's kind of laughing at me, and he's like, "This is the one." And he's been waiting.
You're done, bro.
He's been waiting for all of these Supercross rounds for me to get done. And he's like, "It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. This is the night." And we're in this long ass line to get to the guy who lets you in or out, the security dude. And
it's the 2 big dudes, right?
What's that?
There's 2 big, like, freaking jack dudes at every round.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Listen, I reckon there's more than 2 security guards.
No, but there's always the dudes that for the industry seating back to the pits. There's always these 2
that work for Feld that work the industry
yeah.
seating.
So then Nate's just going, it's over, and he's just reveling in it. And we get there. Nate, there's one chick in front of us that's carrying like 2 pizzas and 4 beers. And then Nate, and then me. And this chick spills her beer and pizza all over this security guard, and shit flies everywhere. And this dude just goes absolutely off. And I just sneak past this security guard. And then one of the dudes from Pro Circuit he had one more seat in the Rhino to go, because it's like a 2K walk back to the pits. Boom. I just leave Nate. Boom. I smoke bomb on Nate because he had to walk for 2Ks back to the thing. And he's just going, dude, no way. He doesn't cuss, and he was so pissed at me. So then it gets even better, believe it or not. So I just do the Alcatraz maneuver of Supercross, and then it was like Gypsy 101. That's going in the first chapter.
Standard.
Yeah, that's going in the first chapter of like the Gypsy Tales
Get a
book.
random chick to spill a heap of pizza and beers on the dude, so you
couldn't plan it any better. Like, you could barely pull it off if you were actually trying to pull that exact thing off.
Full Ocean's 11 sequence.
Yeah, like if you had Matt Damon and George Clooney planning Matt Damon. He's actually coming on the podcast later.
Oh, Matt Damon's coming?
Might run out of time for him.
Yeah.
So
he's a second thought.
We got Gypsy stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
We got what stuff?
Gypsy stuff.
Yeah, we got Gypsy. There's important Gypsy tales to tell.
Yeah, exactly.
So then, anyway, that wasn't where it ended. So that night, again, Atlanta town, fun party town. I go out all night. And then I get back. I was in Ty Simmons' room that night. I get back from the after party at whatever time, and Ty's going like, I'm gonna jack him hard. Like, I'm not gonna wake him up when I get up, because I come in, woke him up, he was pissed, and so then I didn't set an alarm, and then I wake up to Nate is at the airport. Everyone's at the airport, and Nate's like, do not call him. I want to teach him a lesson. He deserves this. And like, if you miss a flight from the East Coast to get back to California,
not real good, is it?
Back to Temecula, it's like an hour and a half from the airport. Like, it was really going to jack with my day. It was going to
ruin my day.
It was going to ruin my Sunday, and I was already hungover. Unbeknownst to me, I had one kidney this whole time. So hangovers were worse.
That is actually true.
So then Ty actually walks off, because Ty felt bad. He's like, dude, he will not get out of here if we don't get on this flight.
He might die in Atlanta.
Yeah, he might just move here.
With his one kidney.
We might just see him.
Atlanta's going to claim him
as his own. Have you seen The Walking Dead? But so then Ty actually feels bad. So Ty's like, all right, I'm just going to call him. He walks off and calls me. My phone's on silent, but I hear it vibrating. Called me like 10 times. And he's like, dude, the flight's about to leave, but like, wake up and try and get on the next one. So I was like, shit, it was like 9 o'clock. So I'd managed to get in like 5 hours sleep at this point. So I woke up actually feeling not too bad. Perfect. And so then I run downstairs, grab all my shit, run downstairs, and then I get to the thing, and you've got to take like the shuttle from the hotel to the airport. Not me, bro. Dean Wilson and his parents are there, just ready to go by complete gypsy magic.
Full locked and loaded, just ready to go directly to the airport.
Flicking gypsy tears all over him. Yeah. Casting a spell. And so then they're like, Andy, Dean's dad's like, Jess, what? You look like you need a ride to the airport. And I was like, mate, I actually precisely need...
I was actually waiting for my horse and cart, but if you're going, I will come with you.
By the way, here's this golden slipper, see if it fits. And anyway, so I'm like, I actually do need a lift. So I get to, and I was still this whole time like, I'm 3 hours late for my flight. So I was like, well, I'll just try and get on their flight. They live in Temecula. Maybe I can get a flight with them. Get to the airport.
Full gypsy claws.
Yeah, I was just like...
Locked and loaded.
I knew I was going to miss my flight, but I was never in like full stress mode. So anyway, I'm like, not in a rush. My flight, I'm missing the flight. So I was like, I'm not going to rush here. What's the point? So then I get a bagel, bit of cream cheese. I get
a little coffee.
Get a coffee.
The traditional American breakfast.
Yep, I get a coffee and I walk through. Mind you, all the
I already know what's going to happen. I haven't even heard this story and I already know what's going to happen.
The rest of the team got up at 4:30, right?
They're all sitting there
to get to the airport.
Over it because they've been sitting there for like 9 hours.
So they got up at 4:30 to get to... I got home from the after party at 4. So they're thinking like, Jace is running on half an hour sleep here. Meanwhile, I get up at 9. Anyway, walk through, coffee, bagel, feeling amazing. And I see all of JDR. And I'm like, the flight's been delayed.
and you're like, yeah, I knew. That's why I slept in.
And I just... And like, they were all on this high of like, We got him.
They're
He's
like,
done.
fuck Jason, we've left him in the room.
We got him after all this time. It's halfway through Supercross and we've got him. And I walk in just bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. I got a coffee, a bagel.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, dudes.
And I was like, what's up, boys? And they all just went,
No.
eat a dick. And like no one spoke to me. And then just to add insult, just to rub a little bit of salt into the wounds, I was in A1 with zero status. Zero freaking.
So you just
Straight to-
like sat down and everyone's had to
Yeah,
walk past.
so they called me up.
And you're just sitting there in your A1 just spraying gypsy tears.
Yeah, so like, because I think that it's like, they must have given my seat away or something, because like they do that shit in America. Like if they oversell
They
the flights,
oversell the
Yeah.
flights.
So they must have oversold, gave my seat away, and then when I showed up,
They're like, oh, fuck.
they went, "Oh fuck, we got to get this dude on the plane." So the chick was,
there's a real life gypsy
There's-
getting on our plane.
we have to accommodate. So
Where
I
are we
end
going
up-
to put his horse and cart? I've got no idea, but we'll get him on there.
we'll get him there. And so then they're like call out priority, and I get up and all the boys just look
like,
at me
no
like,
way.
you kidding really. So I had to watch every single team member of JDR walk past me, and I was just like, I tried not to laugh, but I just had this ear to ear smirk. I
could just imagine it. That's a fantastic story, Jason.
that's one of my. But the thing is that you're like one of my friends that can truly relate.
Oh man, I've seen you lose.
No, but I'm
camera
talking about in you as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
You can relate to my gypsiness.
I
Not
just
only have you
I just
seen
do
it.
stuff.
Yeah. But you know the couch life.
Everything works out. Sometimes it works out bad. Sometimes it works out good. But it always works out, you know. in
Yeah,
one
it's
way or
like
another.
it's like the is that so? You never
Yeah.
say something's good or bad because you just
is
don't know
what
where
it
it's
is.
going to go.
Yeah,
You don't know.
I've slept on thousands of people's couches.
Yeah, that's why. So you're of all, like when we were talking, when we went out to dinner on Saturday night, you were saying like, "Oh, you'll appreciate this story because like you've got a gypsy soul as well."
Well, I do. But I'm more like a Tasmanian, like, gypsy.
Like Meek Mill, like hanging with rappers.
Just random.
You got to tell that story. That's a gypsy.
Oh,
guy.
no. Well, not with him, but with his management crew,
Yeah,
mate.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Full random. So,
Tell it.
yeah, well, so pretty much I was just one day just at home.
As the owner and CEO of Fist Gloves.
the owner and the CEO. So basically, I was just at home one day and I got a text message from Twitch, who was an absolute legend, and he's just like, "Hey man, I've got a favour to ask you. Could you potentially help out one of my mates?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course, I'll help out anyone." And pretty much the guys that do all the 12 o'clock wheelie stuff over in is it Baltimore?
Yeah.
Is that
where
that's
it
where they're
started,
from? Yeah. So those boys, and shout out to Kuhn. He's an absolute legend. He looks after a lot of those boys' stuff, and hits me up about maybe doing a glove. And then it's so funny. Like we went and met up with those dudes, and they're just like
Full blown rappers. Like this is the entourage of Meek Mill.
They're just like from a different world from me. Like I'm from Tasmania.
Where's that?
It's like, honestly exactly where is that? Sort of the same place as Cairns, apart from real cold, and on an island off the end of Australia. But just like the weirdest stuff happens because you just let it happen, right? And you know, you just cruise along in this story we call life, and and just see what happens, right? I mean, that's what you do.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, so Sam is my friend where I think a lot of people can't relate.
I guess just whatever Jace tells me, it just doesn't surprise me.
That's it. But you know,
I'm like, oh yeah, fair enough.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, whatever.
Let's switch gears because we do have the Australian Supercross champion.
Two-time.
Jackson Richardson. You decided we're going to pretend we're in a serious podcast here because it's been a G up so far, I wanted.
It's been quite the G up, but
It has been good. But let's go.
Jackson kind of
freaking
set the
good.
tone with his clothing, to be honest.
Yeah, he came in and said, "Look, boys, I don't know what you had in mind, but this is how it's going to go."
This is what's gonna happen. Yeah.
So you decided,
Shoot the pistol.
shooter.
Shoot it.
So you decided at a super young age that you were just going to go to America.
Dude, pretty much.
Why circumvent the Australian scene in a way and just go straight to full blown? Because a lot of dudes like don't go to the States until they have a factory ride, unless you're doing like Taylor Potter did, like, you know, one off kind of thing. But you chose to full blown base yourself in the US as a privateer. So why did you do that instead of? Because you never even had a factory ride in Australia. What was the thinking, mate?
Yeah, well, I mean, I went pro over here. Did a few. I got some offers like real early in the day when I was like 16. You know, that first year.
Yeah, I mean, I was throwing that big glove money at you and all that.
Yeah, this guy was throwing it freaking left, right, and center at me. Yeah, just making it rain.
Guac, son.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest, I would buy him guac, but that's pretty much it.
We're just gonna stick to just straight IQ bowl.
No guac.
Hell yeah.
So you say you go pro, and then you just like. So who was talking to you?
Like Suzuki back in the day was talking to me. I think we spoke. I think Dad and myself were talking to Jay a little bit at JDR back in the day.
Oh, like for
for the team over here.
Remember you rode the PJ's championship bike at Coolum, remember? We did like a video of you.
Oh yeah, dude, that's right. Yeah, I rode that thing.
I want to dig that.
It was like the
up.
first factory bike I'd ever ridden in my life. Like, you know, apart from like the stuff I had. My stuff was pretty good back then, but yeah, it was like, oh man, I'm going to ride a freaking factory Kato.
Because you were like 15 and this is MX Daily. Shout out to MX
MX Daily. Is that the title sponsor of this show?
Nah, mate, it's long gone. I think
someone, we buried that.
Someone bought the domain and started like there. There is like an MX Daily,
and their logo's like really similar to your.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah. Shout out to whoever's still pedaling that bicycle.
Cheers, guys.
Oh, yeah.
The gypsy got off that train, and you guys are on it.
You know, it was shit if the gypsy jumped off. No, but yeah. So yeah, I said to Jats because. I mean, I sort of had, not like an agenda, but I was excited to get Jats on a bike because I felt like he was a little bit overlooked at times when it came to rides and stuff anyway. But I think you guys sort of almost did that on purpose a little bit anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
But I was like, dude, it'd be so sick to see Jats on a factory bike, the championship winning bike. We filmed it, we put it up on MX Daily. But yeah, so that's like just come to my mind then. That was the first time you ever rode a factory bike.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was freaking crazy. Yeah, to be able to do that. And it was the day after Coolum, so the track was freaking
it would have been smooth.
Yeah, it was
But luckily they prepped that one berm where we were able to get the fire shot.
That's right.
Big rooster tail out the back of the thing.
I wish I knew about anything when it came to like filming and photos back then, because I would have kept all that shit. Like I don't have anything, man.
I was gonna say to you, do you still have like all the old MX Daily stuff and all that?
I got nothing, man.
I would love to watch some of that stuff. You and Cam just going ham.
I think there is actually the MX Daily motocross show. There is some episodes of that still on Vimeo.
You can download that on Vimeo.
Vimeo,
not even YouTube.
No. I don't like YouTube. I don't know. Maybe I was just being a rebel and not doing the YouTube.
You
thing.
were being arty.
Yeah, I think Vimeo was like for artists back then.
Vimeo is a lot more arty. I reckon.
So that's probably what it was. Anyway, we're on a tangent here, Jat. So then, when did you go to the States? Did you go to the States like after that, pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much. I think it was 2012. And yeah, pretty much it definitely wasn't my idea. Definitely wasn't my idea.
Richo's like, you're either wrestling crocodiles or you're
freaking Papa P was like, "Oi, how about we give freaking AMA a shot?" And I'm just the freaking little tacker at 17 going, "Oh shoot, well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, let's try to do that." And yeah, freaking straight
into the big whoops.
Yeah, I was freaking in grade 12. I was still going to school, and I was like, yeah, sure, why the hell not? That'd be freaking sick to go over there and do that. Yeah, I didn't even think twice. I was just like, yeah, we'll go over there, do it as a privateer, 100%.
So what was the because I guess I was kind of around a little bit to see some of it, because those first couple of years, man, like you were riding sick on those. Like a milestone and all that, like actually people like who's that kid kind of thing.
Yeah.
What was your first impressions of getting there, seeing those tracks, seeing all those dudes, because you'd done Loretta's and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's obviously different because you're sort of racing kids that are sort of in your age group. But
yeah.
when you're at those supercross tracks through the week in the States, it's like everybody's there.
Oh, it was the biggest freaking eye opener to see all those guys over there. Because like that year, it was like Roxon had just come over, Mooscan had just come over too. So like there was so many guys there. Tomac was, I think that was the year he won the championship.
Yep, Dean.
Like
Yeah,
in
Dean.
lights though, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Lights.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lights.
Yeah, that was the year.
So
that,
stacked.
So it was like 2012.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to
Would have been
get
a
out
very
there.
small puppy at that point.
Oh, mate, if he's a puppy now.
Oh,
He was a tadpole.
I would have just left RSPCA. That's for damn sure. But yeah, man, such an eye opener. Freaking riding with those dudes and all that stuff. Like, it blew my mind when I first got over there.
Was it intimidate? Like, because I think there was a time over there where you were still a kid, and then it wasn't. So you had like, because your dad was there the whole time, pretty much, or your mum was there, and you always had someone there. But it wasn't until that year that you were there by yourself, and then you drove to. Well, you had your mum there one of the years as well, and you would drive together.
Yeah.
But like you were working on your bikes yourself. You were like your mum was pitboarding for you at the nationals.
Yeah.
So like
That's so sick.
I think that year you kind of got forced to grow up a bit. But
Yeah.
before that, you were still just a kid. So like,
Yeah.
what was it? I guess what was it like being that young and just getting sort of thrown into that?
Man, honestly, like, I didn't even think about it, I just went in and did it. And then, doing that first round at Anaheim, like,
What? Yeah, because you made the night show.
yeah, I made the night show, so like that was sick for a start. I think I qualified like 26. And
But
like,
how was that like rolling out into Anaheim for the first time? That would have been gnarly.
oh, dude,
I
I
think
was
ceremonies and
I was like, this is insane. This is definitely no Ipswich Super X. This one's on steroids for sure. Yeah, and then man, after I finished that heat race, when I made it into the main on my first go.
Yeah, what did you get? 6 or something?
Yeah, I
in the
got
heat?
6th. I got a good start, and then I just I had the speed to like stay
You're
in
like,
a qualifying.
"Jeez, I'm out the front of you.
Wow.
I was like, whoa.
What have I done?
Am I about to be Vince Freeze?
Oh man, yeah, and freaking hell, I made it into the main, and Pete wasn't saying too much all day. Like he was just like, hey, you know what? Like we're just gonna do it and like do your thing. And then it wasn't until after that he was like, oi, I honestly wasn't even expecting you to make the main, eh?
So thanks for the vote of confidence, Dad.
Yeah. Not a bad thing though, because he was
Yeah,
like,
you,
I was
blew away
I
expectations.
was 17 at the time, like just finished school, and like so I wasn't riding full time, like, and did no off the bike training at all. All I did was just ride, put like 2-3 hours on the Subi track a day.
And on tracks that your dad built.
Yeah, on tracks
So you're
that
not
Dad
even
built.
right. Like,
Yeah,
if
so-
people have seen his tracks are obviously super legit, but it's not even like
But yeah,
you got a chance to do a lot of
Yeah.
stuff over there.
But man, you get over there and it's just completely different. It's way different to any Australian supercross, like the tracks. And to be able to get in there and get out there with those guys, far out. Like the pace is so intense. It's ridiculous. Like the pace that those guys go for like
The entire time.
the entire time. There is no backing off whatsoever.
Yeah, but
It's
you,
insane.
like, you are like one of those guys now, though, right?
Yeah, I like to think so. Like at the time, far out. I think I had like 3-4 laps in me.
And then what, the anchor straight out the back.
The anchor was deployed like straight away.
The sea anchor.
Yeah, just got thrown the fuck out, and yeah, I was like, holy
Have you still
smokes.
got all the scars on your tongue from your sprocket?
Yeah, dude.
It just got caught in the back wheel like a rapper.
I'm still caught back there. I haven't recovered. No, but yeah, dude, it was just like, for me, it was just the best thing. Like, it was the sickest experience to be able to do that, and like not only that year, but like all the years I was there, it was sick.
I'll never forget there was like, I think it was at Star West or I want to say it was Star West. I was out there doing some stuff with the JDR boys, and I was talking to Dean Wilson, and I was like, "Oh, have you seen my little mate Jats? Right?" He's like,
"Me little buddy."
Yeah, and he goes in like you can't even do his accent. It's so weird. But he's like, "Oh, your boy was sending it through the whoops," and I was like, "Oh, really?" And then someone like maybe you had a video, and Jats was legitimately these whoops were
Full
like
send.
all the boys like the big boys were riding around him, and Jats was and maybe it was just Pete was going like, "Nah, you could do it," and then you just not knowing any better was just going,
"Oh, sweet, let's go."
Maybe I can, and then just see Jats just going, and like dudes just weren't even getting through. Was it Star West where they was super gnarly?
I think that like I remember Milestone had a big set that year, and Star West had some massive ones too, and but man, that was just all from like Dad. He was so good with it, just like built me like a set of whoops, and then like it slowly got bigger until he like made these massive ones, and then I just got used to it. So then when I got over there, I was like, oh, these aren't too bad. Like they're big.
Like this is pretty standard.
But
and then Pete actually caught a crocodile to put like in there.
He put all the crocodiles in the bottom of all of them.
Yeah, if Jats crashed, he was getting chopped.
Get eaten.
Yeah.
Mainly it was Big Papa Pete standing at the beginning of the whoops every time, just saying, I better not see the throttle back off.
He was just doing like this motion.
Yeah,
click,
shift,
click, up, click,
don't
click,
shift up. Yeah,
there was like
down.
there was like two road signs on either side of the whoops. Entry speed up. Or like you know
those things where it goes the speed limit, and then and then when you go up to it and you're speeding, it does a frowny face.
If Jats wasn't at 65 k's an hour, frown.
Oh, dude. Yeah, freaking gnarly stuff. Yeah. And then, those set it at Star West that year freaking claimed me. I freaking weeded my shit in it.
That was the day that I went there, and Dean said it that day. And he's like, dude, your boy's sending it through the whoops. What'd you hurt your shoulder that day?
Oh man, I heard everything.
Next minute you look over and he's like,
just look over. Richo's in the pretzel, freaking after
big
the whoop section.
Big Richo's folded himself.
Oh yeah, I do remember you tacoed yourself. It was a Tuesday too, I do believe.
Yeah, I believe it was indeed Tuesday.
Terrible.
Taco Tuesday for Jats.
Yeah.
And then, but like, at what stage did it start feeling almost routine for you over there, where you knew your way around, you knew the tracks, you knew the people, you knew the formats, you knew what to expect, like, because you get over there at the start, and then even for me living there, everything's weird. You don't know where you're going. It's like, is it the 15, the 215? Like, what the fuck freeway?
All those numbers are so hard.
Yeah, and like people.
Isn't it a mission just
it's like,
to
can't you
just
write what's like the towns? It's all like the 215,
there's no
15.
Yeah, they don't really put like this way is this way is that,
like
or they just
Brisbane,
go
20.
Yeah, or they just go Los Angeles, and you're like, oh, that's
a big place,
7th biggest city on the planet. Yeah, okay, cool. Thank you for that.
I'll just head that way.
I'll just head around that way, I guess. No, but like, at what stage did it start to feel like you kind of, belong there even too? Because like, as much as you would say like, oh, I'll go over there and I feel like I can run with the boy, like, you don't feel like you belong there. You're fucking 17, man. You don't like you
have no business getting sixth.
You don't belong. You don't belong in 6th place out of your first heat race ever. Like, at what point did it start to feel like, oh no, I could be here?
Man, probably not until like, the second year I was over there, I felt a little bit better about it. But yeah, probably the 3rd year I was there was like, probably when I was like, okay, like feel like I'm improving a lot, and like I feel like I belong up there and can do really good. But it's just far out. The competition's just so hectic over there. Like, far out. People have got no idea. Like, when you go over there, like especially in Supercross, like it's on another level, and it's like so hard just to even try crack the top 10 over there. Because like the top 10's usually all stacked with factory dudes.
Yeah, it's all good dudes.
Oh, it's all good dudes.
Well, even the top 15.
Yeah.
20 even.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, definitely. Like, Yeah, and then, we're just coming in out of the freaking van.
It's like, how's it going? I'm from Cairns.
Yeah.
My dad wrestles crocodiles.
Yeah.
The best part of Supercross for me was that carne asada your dad used to get and he'd cook it on the barbecue.
He was frothing the carne asada.
Yeah, he was like, I can't remember where he got it from. I know where he got it from, but I can't remember the name of it. But that was the shit. I used to ditch our truck driver food for that on like basically every West Coast round.
Everyone would be like, so where's Jason?
So
it's
this
dinner
is
time.
like-
Well, he's under a pit tent eating off a barbecue.
Yeah.
He's eating out of the back of a van by the looks of it.
This is where
Parked out the front of a school.
there is free food here. This is where the gypsy should be, but he's not.
Yeah.
None of this adds up.
None of this makes sense whatsoever.
There must be free food somewhere
Somewhere
else.
else. There must be better free food.
There must be better Wi-Fi at that other place.
Oh, let's not even get started on Wi-Fi.
Let's start on
There's
the
some-
Wi-Fi.
Nah, there's some people that get upset. We talked about this the other night. That I think like
That you've exhausted every single one of our friends' Wi-Fi's.
Man, I legitimately fuck some Wi-Fi up, eh? Like this
so
is before ADSL 2, before like the NBN. Like it wasn't even.
To be honest, NBN is not that good.
It's not that good.
It's not very good.
Not very. I wish there was some like G at the end of it. But yeah, like so I'm trying to upload. Hey, we're talking
bulk amounts of videos.
We're talking HD video here, guys. We're talking 1080p straight to Vimeo, high bit rates, arty shit. When the infrastructure of the Australia, that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say I was ahead of my time, and the infrastructure.
It's actually the Australian internet people's problem that you fucked everyone's Wi-Fi.
You know, in like 1 year, I actually voted for Julia Gillard just because she had like a full plan to get NBN in like 5 years. And I'm not even
That
joking.
was the selling
I wasted
point.
my vote on Julia Gillard because she promised me NBN. Because I was like, look, I'm like,
personally, did you go to Julia's place and go, wait, can I use your Wi-Fi? And she's like, listen, it's not fast enough for both of us.
I would let
I
you.
would let you, but the thing is, I need your vote to get this NBN thing through.
If you vote for me.
And then once the NBN's in, you can come and use it as much as you like.
She said, if you vote for me, all your Wi-Fi dreams will come true.
And
Jace
was just like, say no more. I'm sold.
And you've got my vote, and I'm going to change my name and vote again. But no, I was trying to upload Ash Simpson from JDR. He copped it the worst, and he never ever let me forget it. I'm pretty sure
recovered.
Cam Williams, mate.
I remember Cam copying it.
Cam, mate. I'm formally apologising on the internet. This will live forever. I raped your Wi-Fi.
Oh, it was heavy. I remember speaking to Cam on the phone. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, oh, not much. The Jippo's been here. I can't use any of my internet.
Oh, not super somber as well.
So funny. Just camping on his couch, just using his internet.
Oh, we went from
gypsy.
Oh, big time, man. I used to love going to camps. There was really rad couches. You know,
I agree.
I have you'd know.
I've slept on a few couches.
There's some places that have great couches. Johnny McLean used to love going there.
He has a great couch.
His couch
Actually,
was
no,
good.
he had a spare room.
I know. Oh, I think I slept in the spare room once.
No, because you used to sleep, because we were always there at the same time, right?
You slept in the room,
I used to get the room. You
and I used to get the
lounge
couch. Yep.
Hey, Johnny, cheers, bro.
There's a hierarchy here. There's a hierarchy of gypsies.
Yeah.
You were like a high class gypsy.
Well, you know.
You probably,
you
probably offered more.
See, I think the difference is that I didn't do the Wi-Fi over. So people were cool with me staying because they're like, hey, you can stay. Don't touch my Wi-Fi. They say to you, you can stay. I know you're going to touch my Wi-Fi.
You sleep with the dog. But Ash Simpson legitimately he had like dramas with Telstra for years, and I'm not even joking.
He's probably on a blacklist now because of you.
Yeah, I remember his mum would be like fully calling and going, "Hey, I know we went over our limit, but like I have to get something." But like,
I've got this random gypsy that's just living here in a caravan out
you
the
wouldn't
front.
believe me if I told you, but this is what happened. But no, like his mum battled with Telstra for like a really long time to try and get their shit back on track. So it was a real thing.
You really put him in a hole.
It was a real condition, and believe it or not, I feel bad about it because it happened over and over. But again, I was trying to upload, like, this would give people an idea of how bad the situation was, right? Like I would
can't
upload.
believe that Julia didn't fix it for you.
I know, I fully voted for her.
Yeah.
Oh well, she got hers. No, but we're talking like a 250 meg video, and it would take 2 days to upload back then. Like, it was pretty shocking.
And use 8 months worth of someone's
internet. And it probably cost like $300 a go. Like, it was pretty bad, man. I'm not like, it was it was bad times, but that's the price you pay for greatness. MX Daily Motocross Show. We probably could have just shortened it, really, trimmed the fat a little bit, saved some people some money.
Maybe not done it in 1080.
Yeah, maybe just 720. We didn't even have iPhones back then.
That's true.
No, I mean, we might have had iPhones.
Nah, we wouldn't have. I don't reckon we did at that point.
Yeah, maybe. Well, maybe not in Tassie.
Would have been like Blackberries at that point.
Yeah, probably. So we'll go back to America. That was a tangent. They're lovely, but so the year is 2000 and what? And you actually
he doesn't know what you're talking about yet, so he can't
trying to
tell you what
set it
year
up.
it is.
Can't even remember what day it is now. Yeah.
I believe it is Wednesday.
No, it's Tuesday.
Is it?
Yeah, for us with
Tuesday.
proper jobs like me, it's Tuesday.
Dang. Yeah.
Shit, it is Tuesday.
Yeah, sure is, guys.
Yeah. All right. Yep. You got me on that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gypsy continues.
Yeah.
So you start actually feeling pretty good, but you've kind of got some injury stuff going on, or like did you start to get like injured a little bit over there, or wasn't it until you got injured at Murray Bridge, right? That's when the shoulder stuff happened.
The first year that I went pro.
When did you hurt your shoulders at Murray Bridge? Because you came back.
Oh yeah. Oh, my first
come
pro
back
race
over here, or was that in?
Oh, dude, I remember that. You were that fast.
He was smoking everybody.
I just remember just going.
First day we met was that day when I busted my shoulder.
How's this dude? What the fuck? Like, he was that fast.
Just
man.
another like, hey, you know what? Let's go pro this weekend. Pete, oi, you want to go pro this weekend at Murray Bridge? Sure. Let's drive all the way there from Cairns.
Let's drive 77 hours.
Or Pete did all the driving because I only had my freaking learners at the time, so he didn't want me doing anything. So I was in the back getting some good preparation on MX First ATV.
Oh.
And then, so, I was in the zone coming into it.
I do remember that. That was gnarly. I remember, like, we'd only just met, so you were just some random little kid.
I was an even smaller puppy back in the game.
Swinging off the thing. It was heavy.
Yeah. I remember I was freaking crapping myself back then. Because that year was stacked. That lights
I was going to say, who was racing then?
There was, that was 2011. So, like, Mossy won the championship that year. He was with JDR. Then you got Keish, and
when he was riding good.
Yeah, and then you got like Ford Dale, Kirk Gibbs, like for Circo and all those guys.
So sick.
Man, I remember there was like
golden
10
years
guys.
we call them.
Yeah.
We call
golden
those,
era.
We call those the Jace was banished with no media pass years.
Yeah, I just came in. I was like, it was when they had those freaking 4 15-minute races.
Oh, they tried the Ironman Nutrigrain series formats.
Yeah, that's it. And I freaking whole shotted the first moto, and I was like, get out of here. I was like,
you're like, oh god, it's like being at the supercross again.
I'm like, I should not be here right now.
Here comes the anchor.
I'm like, the anchor is going to get deployed soon for sure. But yeah, anyway, Gibbsy went past, blew my doors off, and which I was kind of expecting. And then Keisha went by me, and I like started like hanging on to Keisha a bit. And then I just remember it to this day. It was one of my glory moments there was those 2 Tabos, and they were pretty steep back then. Did probably the best scrub of my life back then. And then made the pass and got second that race. And I was like, holy freaking crap, I just got second.
At a national. This is
at a national.
He never thinking that in 6 months' time he's going to get in a nice show with a 6 and 8 race.
But that track back then was so fast.
Yeah, Murray Bridge was cool.
Sick.
It's the same nowadays, dude. But yeah, it was freaking,
we just haven't been there for like 10 years.
Fast. Man, it was so fast. It was unlike anything I hadn't ridden back then.
So you're staring down the barrel of a overall in your first race.
So now all of a sudden you've got a massive target on your back too. So everyone's like, oh, there's that random kid from Cairns. Oh yeah, he's pretty good. Oh whoa, we just beat all this. Let's kill him.
There's that random Jackson Richardson. Never heard of her.
Who in the hell is she?
Who is she?
What is she doing here?
And then second moto,
just completely bypassed under 19s. I was like, you know what? I'm just
need to do that.
I was
Too
like,
good for this
I was
shit.
like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go off the beaten path. Just go straight into lights.
Why'd you do that? Was just random?
Man, that was Pete's idea. He was like, nah. Everything pretty much in my career was Pete's idea. It was like, he's like yeah.
what's everyone else do? Let's just do the other thing.
He's like, yeah, you know what? They're doing that. We're going to do this. And he was like, yeah, you know what? Under 19s, I don't think it'll be worth it. Let's just go straight into lights.
He's like, under 19s, never heard of her.
He's like, we'll see how you go. And I was like, yeah, all right. Yeah. Yeah, because you're going out there and doing it.
Jats is like, if there's a meme that should sum up Jats' entire career, right? We need to shoot the photo. Jats in all his riding gear, standing like this, and then Pete behind him, and Jats like mid free fall. So it's like, should we race Supercross, Dad? Yeah. So Murray Bridge. So first moto, second, and then
we need to hear about when he grenaded himself.
Yeah. So then everyone's
that's
gone.
probably the best part of the
second
day.
race, is that where you crashed?
Nah, it was the fourth race.
So how'd you do it? Now give us a quick summary. How'd you go on the second and third?
Mates.
Oh, that's right, because there was 400 races,
Yeah.
so you had 400
There
chances
was
of DNFing.
6 to 9 races, I believe, that day. Yeah.
They were just like, there was back the MX Nationals back then was you had like that wheel like you're at a you're at a bloody bowls club and they're like, and the meat raffle 9 40-minute motos.
Yeah.
Go. So so it was the 15th moto of the day. You'd put 17 hours on your race bike.
Yeah,
Things
so
about to blow up.
I think by that point, I think I was still in the shot at being on the podium, like points wise for the day.
So what did you got moto scores wise?
Like I
What
went
did you
second.
got?
I went second. I got a 10th, I think, because I come together with Mossy and bent my back brake out, so that jacked me a little. But then the third moto, I think I got 8th or 9th, and I like the way the points worked. I was still in with a shot at the podium
because they did the points
there
with
was
the board too.
because there was 400 motos. I was still in with a shot, and the last one I was like, I got to freaking just absolutely give her a
Time to
good feeding. Time to freaking give Rhonda a good feeding in this one, and then there was just like freaking like 2 kilometer straightaway into this like 10-meter tabo.
So this was Fink pre-qualifying as well.
Yeah, it was pretty much, and like I was in the tuck and everything, so you know I was gaining top speed, and then I just OJ'd this thing, landed in a breaker bump, shoulder comes out, and then I just laid it over, and then first dislocation of anything I've ever done. So I was like, that doesn't feel good at all.
Seen this before.
Yeah, and then I ended up getting freaking crazy seeing how I met this guy. I've like busted my shoulder, I'm holding it. And then I get on the back of this golf cart, and then I think it was when you were working for Rockstar.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, dude, what's up? I was like, yeah, man. Yeah, not too
I'm
bad.
not actually feeling that good.
I'm not feeling too great.
Oh, you're Jason's mate. Yeah, you're really fast. Yeah, I'm not real fast at the moment.
Yeah, it was
I'm
fast.
pretty buckled right now, but yeah.
Got a couple of issues going on.
Yeah, and then, I mean, that's how my day ended. But, I mean, overall, to me, it was a good day. Freaking, I guess.
Like you
got in the mix.
Had your first race podium and also your first dislocation.
Yeah.
First race
so
ever.
it was a
First podium. First dislocation.
Yeah.
Met Sam.
Met Sam. I mean, that was the highlight of the day, really.
That's got to be. Well, I guess that's like the
appreciate
long-standing takeaway out of it all.
That's
like,
the biggest thing out of that day.
Yeah.
You know what?
It's not bad.
So what am I thinking of though when you come back from the States and then you were, all right, maybe it was Harvey Bay and you broke your femur.
Oh, yeah.
Because you come back from the States at one point.
Yeah.
It was like, I guess I might race. Yeah, because it was for Konski.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
And then he asked you to race the Nationals.
Yeah.
So sure, that sounds like a great idea.
And then the 2 laps of practice that he did,
I was
about 97 seconds faster than anybody else.
He was in fast forward.
Yeah. I was putting down heaters and then it was just pretty much a scrub going wrong and then freaking snap the femur.
The scrubs always get you, don't they?
Man, these scrubs are just
Who
like, they
invented
haven't
that
been
shit?
New
far
school
out, bubs.
shit.
Yeah, and then snap the femur, and then that was a bit of a low point. Well, not really. I mean,
Not really. I mean, it'll work.
I mean, hey, there's worse things. There's worse things that you can be down about for sure.
Righto, so this is the first podcast with a new setup, so we've had technical difficulties.
Non-surprising, really.
What basically, to explain to the people out there what happened, is we were recording in like a really good setting.
Why wouldn't you?
But like, I don't know, well, turns out we're not worthy. We fooled the hard drive, fooled her up.
We fooled it.
Yeah, we fooled it up, mate.
Filled it or fooled it?
No, we fooled it. That's cans talk.
That's a cans thing.
That's cans talk. We fooled it up.
Cans.
So, I mean, no one really knows where we are. Basically, I do think we missed
Basically, we were just talking about the Jats went to Murray Bridge and just was full animal, and then he grenaded himself.
So what?
That's pretty much where we got to.
Basically, we started at a high, and then we went freaking way down low. That was pretty much the gist of the story.
All the way up, then down.
Yeah.
Wait, then we got onto another one where it was at a high, and then we went low.
I mean, it's just life, really, isn't it?
But hey,
You just got to ride the wave.
Peaks and troughs.
Absolutely.
Peaks and troughs.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, Pete's
Trops.
Nah, that wasn't going anywhere. I should have just if I didn't have a part 2 for that, I shouldn't have even gone there. So what was the hardest thing about the States? Because people see the highlight reel on like Instagram, like you're posting and stuff like that. So what was the hardest?
I'll tell you what wouldn't have been the hardest part. Chipotle.
No,
how good is it?
That was probably the best bit.
That keeps you going 100%, especially when you're out on the road and you freaking come across a Chipotle and then you're like, you get a new lease on life.
I don't think people understand how bad East Coast food is.
Nah.
My last trip staying in Atlanta, I was over it, dude. Like the East Coast food is just all shit. Like shit food, man. They just have no
I haven't done that much East Coast. Every time it's just like Southern California.
Yeah, California is such a bubble. I don't think people get that about the USA.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You see LA and New York and like Chicago, but they're bubbles, complete and total bubbles, man.
Yeah, you talk to people, they don't that live there. They don't even leave the state.
Oh, so many people have it.
And you're like, what? You're freaking crazy.
When you
like, I live in Cairns and I drive 72 hours to go to a motocross race
on a whim,
just cause.
Just cause.
Was that the hardest part then?
Yeah,
driving the nationals.
Yeah, that was the hardest part, especially the last year I was there because I got hurt at the start of the year. I missed Supercross, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to do all the outdoors, all 12 rounds, and drive to all of them. And yeah, far out. That was like by far the hardest year of racing that I've ever done. Like just doing that outdoors series because there's 3 rounds, which isn't too bad. The first 3, they're like California and then Colorado. So like it's not too far. The Colorado drive's like pretty far, but
Colorado for people in Australia would be about this stupid reference. Who's been to Cairns? There's like 6 people that are going to know. But like Cairns to Brisbane, like about 20 hours is
like I think it's like 26. It's like 26 hours drive.
It's a bit of a drive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I was like we
that's
need to get
more driving than anyone normal person would ever do.
But yeah, and
so that one's not that
That's
bad.
not too bad. And then we went on this stretch where it was 6 weekends of racing in a row, and it like I'm pretty sure like the smallest drive I did, I think it was like 10 hours or a little more. And then like there was like the last 2 of that stretch, I had to go from Minnesota to Washington, which was like 30 something hours, I think. And like I was just wrecked.
So this is while trying to race the hardest outdoor series in the world, in probably the hardest class.
Just think of going from the gnarliest race that you've ever done, like against the fastest dudes in the world, and then you sit in a car for like 30 plus hours to drive to the hardest race you've ever done. In a van, me and freaking Chongo
you were driving. Like it's not like you even had to sit in the passenger seat or sit in the back and sleep. Like you actually did the driving.
Yeah, freaking me and Chongo would just tag team the driving, and it sucked. Like we had the van fully stocked because I had a bed in the back but couldn't use it because I had all my stuff in there. So yeah, and then after that season, I was over it. I was like, yeah, I'm not keen to do it like this again.
Nationals, smashinals.
I'm going I'm going home to View Factory.
I might just go home and just be like,
I want to see. I want to see what this whole team thing is all about. Where you fly.
I'm sick of driving the van.
Yeah.
But even when I come back after that season, I was not even planning on doing supercross that year. Had no intentions of doing it. I was that smoked. I was
and then that was the first year.
I'm not doing it. I'm going home. And especially at that point, because the season didn't go good at all, I was like, I'm going home.
I'm taking my ripstick.
I'm looking for a job.
Oh, really? You like fully just thought you were going to get a job after that?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Because like I hadn't been doing much and I just thought like, oh, no one's going to freaking touch me. I haven't done anything. And like, that's understandable. I know how the business works. And I ended up getting the ride with Serco. And like, even at then I was a little hesitant because I was like, I don't know. Like, because once I commit to something, I'm all in. And I'm like,
as we can see by your flamingo, leopard print.
Listen, I've committed to that life, and I'm all in.
100%. But yeah, I was like, screw it. I was like, I'll do it. And then, freaking from then on, it's just crazy how things worked out after that.
And now going from a supercross,
freaking crazy to think about how all that shaped out and how everything turned out. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Basically 0 to hero in a matter of 6 months.
Yeah.
How did the Serco thing come about the first time?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, one of their riders, Wilson Todd.
No, another Cairns ripper.
Another one.
Oh, stop it! They're everywhere.
That was pretty much like one of the dream teams. 3 Cairns rippers on the same team: me, Wunter, and Wilson.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, that was sick. But yeah, unfortunately, Wilson got hurt, so there was a spot available there. And then I got the call, and then.
But you're like, I'm from Cairns, I can do this.
I was like, sure, I guess I'll do this soupy thing.
So the conversation was, Gavin Eels picked up the phone and he said,
"Is there any Cairns residents?
Is there anyone from Cairns that wants to ride this bike?"
He called Wade. Wade, you got any other mates you grew up 5 seconds away from that know how to ride supercross? Because we need another Cairns rider.
It's more like a neighbourhood team.
Look, we've done this thing with Yamaha where we run our factory teams via postcodes, and 4870 just happens to be what we need.
Yeah, that was it. But I got the ride, and then just freaking took it from there.
Races. Whatever.
Well, I didn't even win a heap. I only won 1 race that season, and then got a little bit of luck in the end, as everyone knows how that turned out. But I mean, you know what? I'll take it.
There is a correlation here, Hayden Melross. If you're listening, I don't know if you are. I don't know if you care to hear this piece of advice from a well-travelled gypsy.
Oh God, here we go.
Until you've won the championship, don't wear fucking gold anything. All right. You know who else is a victim of this? Toby Price. Toby Price got these special Dakar boots made up to run in the year he broke his femur. So Toby rocks up to the first fucking stage of Dakar with gold boots on, breaks his femur. Hayden Melross rocks up at the last round of Supercross, hasn't won the title yet, and his bike grenades itself.
I actually have something to add to this as well.
Go for it, because you can't do it. No. The universe is a bitch.
Okay, so like one of my favourite fist athletes is Caroline Buchanan, who is an absolute legend.
Aussie icon.
Yeah, Aussie icon. The best chick that's ever ridden a bike ever. She's just a legend and the nicest person ever. So for the Olympics, we made her a special set of gold.
You broke the rule.
Gold Swarovski encrusted gloves. I shit you not. These things are sick. And we made those, and we know how that ended up too. She won the first race. I can't remember right now, but anyway, she ended up crashing and didn't finish. So another gold thing. So if I ever have any athletes come at me and they're like, "Hey, I want to do this gold thing," I'll be like, "Nah."
No, wait, I didn't say it because I'm never going to be the guy that says to an athlete. I've worked with enough athletes and filming them and stuff like that, especially at races. fly on the wall. Like, don't say anything. Like, don't be seen and don't be heard.
How do you not say anything?
I'll tell you, when it comes to that shit, I do not mess with it. You do your thing, bro. Who am I to question, right?
I'm a gypsy. I live in a caravan.
I don't exist while I'm filming you, right? But as soon as I saw Toby with gold boots on, I just went, fuck. And it was right after Hayden had his bike blow up. So don't wear gold, guys. You know when you wear gold? You wear gold on the podium once you've won.
But in saying that, it is very hard for Australian athletes because our uniform's green and gold.
Yeah.
And that is like,
yellow.
It's more green and yellow.
Wow. It's yellow.
I know.
It's green and gold, but it's yellow.
Yeah, hey.
Don't be dipping shit in gold, all right? We're not that good.
Man, even at A1 this year, Mooscan come out with the gold numbers on the back, and I was like, oh, here we go.
You're done, bro.
But then he won. I was like, shoot, he may have just like broken it. And then next round, hurts his shoulder.
Not so much.
I was like, there it is. There it goes.
Oi, how about Roxon's dig on the weekend? He was doing the commentary.
And
then Emig goes, not Emig, Fro said, Ralph.
Same person.
Ralph. Same dude. No, not Jeff. Emig said, Ralph Shaheen is like, whoa, man, Marvin's really struggling in the whoops. And Ken's like, yeah, all season.
I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, he did. But he said it in like a full-on humble dig. It was so good how he said it, and everybody just full-on scrubbed off it.
I've never met that dude, but
who? Ken?
Ken, but Lord. I feel like me and Ken would really get along. Like he's that funny. Like I love it.
He used to. That's probably off air, but like he he would hang out with us when we first moved to America because it was all like I went there, Ken went there. Well, not I. There's like JDR went there, Ken went there. Everyone kind of went there that first year, and he stayed in these apartments just up the road, and he lived with his dad, and it was like a 2-bedroom apartment. You know the apartments on the corner of Winchester and right there near KTM. Yeah. So he had a thing there, and his dad would just like. No fun. Captain serious.
Zero.
And he couldn't have girls over. Couldn't do anything. So like,
no guac.
No guac. Just straight dry chewing chips. Not even salsa.
That is
no
rough.
guac.
Not even salsa. And so basically Ken would like text people Jay's address and be like, oh yeah, come to my house. And there was like a pretty nice house. And then we'd have these like random people rock up and they'd be like, oh, this is Ken's house. And I was like,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure it is.
This is Ken's hot tub.
That's it.
These are Ken's beers. This is Ken's Grey Goose. Go wild.
Yeah, how come there's no photos of him up in the house?
Nah. We kept it all on strictly on the deal. I feel like he's won enough titles now to like kind of semi-tell that story. But so he, getting back to your point of like, I feel like you and him would get along 100%.
Yeah, except for I keep nothing on the down
low.
No. But I mean, it's cool because he's got like his personality's sick.
Yeah, and it comes across even in his writing.
Yeah, totally.
So
he's a bit of a Jack Richardson sort of character.
I don't know if he's as loose. He's a bit buttoned up. He wore a suit to a press conference.
Listen, I can imagine Ken running this.
I mean, he did wear a suit. He didn't come to the press conference in a flamingo shirt, so.
Or a leopard skin hat.
Or a leopard skin hat, yeah.
Or both at the same time.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's had a haircut in the last 3 years.
Is going to be breaking down that barrier at some point.
Maybe it's you.
Hey,
maybe
you know
when you get back to the
I'm
States,
up for it.
when you get back to the States and you're doing opening ceremonies, come out in exactly the get up that you've got.
Well, dude, honestly, I would love to see a Kenny Powers type,
Oh.
You know what would be sick?
I feel like the sport of moto needs a Kenny Powers.
I do too.
Yeah. It really
Maybe
does.
I'm that guy.
You could be. I could be that guy.
That's me. Except for I'm not that good at riding dirt bikes.
Nah, me and you.
I like it. I do like it too.
I liked it until I started filming people that were good.
That were really good.
Yeah,
and then you're like, wow, I'm very bad at this.
Well, you're like, I'm not even doing what they're doing. Like, they're riding motocross and I'm doing this, whatever this is.
I'm circulating.
And I'm struggling to circulate. So it's like, that's where it really killed it for me, because there was a point where, that's why I started filming this, because I was like, I just want to be a motocrosser.
Well, that was the same as me. That's why I got into the industry, because like I obviously all of us wanted to be pro motocrossers. Our friend Jackson here has actually done it. But like, you know, you
two-time supercross champion.
But yeah, like, I mean, I think that's why like everyone that's in the industry gets into the industry, because they're like, you know, you want to do that and that's what you love, but you just can't do it. Like, I didn't try that hard either. Like, but I mean, hey,
the writing was on the wall so hard.
In saying that, I did win a C-grade title in Tasmania, so you know I've got the hardware. Just no one cares.
You got a bet to me name.
What? Basically, what could have been?
What? Hey, who knows?
You're a Ken Roxon in the making.
Well, I could have been.
You could have been.
Yeah.
But I chose this path.
I chose to
this
not do that.
This path didn't choose me.
I wanted to make gloves instead. You know, that's
I
what
just wanted to struggle slinging gloves.
I just wanted to sling gloves. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to be a pro motocross rider and have like a sick life.
Like, yeah, all that dope shit that comes along with it. Like, I wanted to really earn it, you know.
Suits and Ferraris and shit.
I didn't want my life to be dictated by this talent I was just given. You know what I mean? I was just given the talent to be a motocross rider.
To be honest, I like being talentless. It's way
it's like, so much less pressure.
It's like, what are you good at? Well, I'm good at drinking beers and I know heaps of crew. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, you get talent on a motorbike, and it's like, then there's just expectation that comes along with it. Like, hey man, you could be good at this. We don't have that.
Our friend Matty that's just walked in, he's actually pretty good at everything.
Matty McFarren's the exact same thing.
He reckons he's not, but he's just very good at everything. He's also a very good looking guy. Sorry? Yeah, okay. No, I reckon you're very good at
You can
things.
backflip a motorcycle. Piss off.
I
can't do that, Matt.
I can't backflip anything.
Fuck, where do we go? What were we talking about that got us on this tangent? We've had epic as far as tangents go in podcasting. We have had epic tangents.
Yep,
big time.
We have not been
tangentless
at all.
We have not been left wanting.
No. If people like tangents, then
tangents
you're going to enjoy this. You're going to have plenty of stuff to cut in and out.
Well, that's the thing, you don't really cut.
Yeah,
except for when the camera cuts out.
Yeah. That's happened a couple of times. But
look, it's learning phases. Look, this is a new setup. We're trying new things.
Oh yeah. I mean, you've drunk a third of a Great Northern, which is
it's a tall boy.
Surely with the heat in here, that thing will burn your lips in a second.
What I'm trying, this is like, basically this Tally is like an hourglass for this podcast. So once this is done,
honestly, I'm surprised it's not like boiling or something, like bubbling.
It is hot. It is balmy.
It's hot, and I am a polar bear.
You are a polar bear.
I am not built for this.
Yeah.
Toby Price is a polar bear.
Dude, me and Toby very similar on the heat scale.
It's like hard to be. When we built his Fink truck, we had to sleep on the floor of this shed in Maitland in Newcastle in the middle of winter, and it was fucked. Like, it was so cold.
Yeah,
bro, you're a gypsy. Where was your caravan?
It was so, like, did you follow along with any of the stuff that was going on
hell
there?
Yeah, I did.
That was one of the roughest weeks.
It was freaking gnarly, dude.
Yeah.
I just know about it from the podcast.
Yeah, we didn't even go into how bad it was. Like, it was, man, I want to kill Toby at the best of times. And like, I was so over it, eh? Yeah. There was one saving grace of that whole experience was a cafe down the road that had actually like good
Wi-Fi?
coffee. No Wi-Fi.
No,
I was Wi-Fi-less that whole trip. Man,
what did you do?
We didn't have time to use Wi-Fi.
No, like, mate, you would have found time.
I'm telling you what.
Let's be honest.
I feel like that's a lie.
I would not joke about this.
Blatant.
I would not joke about Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But no, it was so cold.
You love Wi-Fi so much, why don't you marry it?
Because Ricky'd be pissed.
Yeah. That's true. Hey, Ricky.
Shout out to young Rick.
Yeah,
by the way.
Rick.
Killing it.
Young Spinks. Killing it.
Spinks dog.
Yeah.
But that was the cold, like that was some of the coldest I've ever been just because of the, not temperature wise. You know, because there's cold of like, obviously a temperature, but if you're dressed for it or if
if you're prepared.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared and we're in a concrete box.
Hang on, you weren't prepared.
I wasn't prepared.
It's amazing.
That's like a trademark thing I do is never check the weather.
Do you go like
out of principle?
You know, like in that movie, you're like, hey, My name's Jason and I'm always unprepared. What's your Wi-Fi password?
Wi-Fi question mark.
Wi-Fi? G'day, I'm unprepared.
Well, the thing is, when you're in America and you don't really have a phone, you've got to hunt it out. Like, well, you don't have a plan.
You've got a phone, but you don't have a phone plan. Of course, you've got a phone.
You got to really dig. You know what I mean? Like, there's some real detective work that goes into it.
Hey, Ricky, I'm on someone's Wi-Fi now.
Oh, or the good one is like, hey, I'm Jace at a Starbucks, or not a Starbucks because they have Wi-Fi, but then you'd be like, hey, you got a hotspot?
Hey, go on, can I hotspot your phone?
Yeah, it's an emergency, and then you just see me scrolling.
Yeah, or uploading a massive video.
Yeah, or just straight to Dropbox.
I just got to get on Dropbox and put this humongous file on it.
Yeah, I just have to upload a podcast. So we've talked about the first championship. So Hayden's bike goes 2-time champion.
Let's talk about the second one.
And then the next year you come in, number 1 plate on the back. Yeah. Did you?
Was there gold?
No gold.
No gold.
Strictly no gold.
You avoided gold.
I made that very clear.
Abundantly clear that there was
no
gold on
I was
the
like,
thing.
nothing gold whatsoever.
I don't want to make that as like a dig at Melross. It's not a dig at...
No,
plenty of people make that mistake.
I mean, shit.
It almost happened to JB last year too, when he put the gold on.
That's true.
Almost
Who
freaking
was
threw
that?
it away.
Oh, Brayton.
Yeah,
Brayton in the last round.
Did he have gold on?
At Sydney, he wore it one night and then it almost went pear-shaped. Like, he lost a few points and then went back to the...
white.
Back to the white and then it was back to business.
Yeah, you just can't because I feel like...
It just happens to everyone, dude.
It does, man, because the universe is a bitch. And the universe, I don't believe
It's like, you're wearing gold.
Yeah,
it's no good for you.
It's like,
It's like you're getting cocky at that point. And it's like, even if you don't think you are or you're not doing it to be cocky, the universe looks at you and goes...
we're in gold.
Oh, really, fool? Really? Really?
You gonna wear that gold thing, are you?
This is what... Because, if you just go on happy-go-lucky, the universe will ignore you. But once you start...
You're gonna fly under the radar.
And I'm a perfect example of that.
For example, if you don't win anything or really do that good at anything,
the universe can never conspire against you.
Nothing can go wrong.
Yeah, I just feel... I don't believe in much, but I feel like... I do believe in not giving the universe a reason to fuck you. And wearing gold.
To rain down on you.
And wearing gold while there are still points in a supercross championship is going, hey, universe, let's dance, bitch.
So, I want to try my luck.
It's just anything, gambling, anything, saying if it's not stitched up and won, then you can get stitched up.
You can wear it at the after party.
Wear it at the after party, wear it on the podium. That's why they give you a gold medal on the podium. That's where you wear gold. When the work's done, you put the gold on around your neck. That's you don't see Sean White doing a run in X Games half pipe with a gold medal around his neck.
Well, he's got 8 or something.
He's
so
got
he could have had
of them. He could have
all of them.
Yeah.
But so it's not a dig at Hayden.
Yeah.
It's just I just don't know if people realise that that's what they're doing. Is they're tempting fate, and they're just in a bit of a game of chicken with them. And look, there's people that's probably got away with them. The universe wasn't on their radar, slipped through.
Yeah.
But I feel like for the most part, if you're going to do it, run the red.
Speaking of Sean White, though, while we're at it, I want a little shout out to me boy Scotty James. Killed it at the Olympics. Absolute legend.
Boss.
Very solid individual, that guy. He's a legend.
How old is he?
Not very, but he's done 3 Olympics already.
That's so loose.
His first Olympics, he was 12 or something crazy.
Is that legit?
Smokes.
Full legit. I'm going to Google it right now.
Google that right now, because he is. He's dating a friend's
Even
friend.
better, I should try and call him.
Just call him.
I'm going to call
Get
him.
him
Is he in America still?
No, he's here, I think. Let's
is he?
call him.
Say congrats, mate, from the Gypsy Tales podcast.
All call failed.
No, he's not here. He's not in Australia.
He's having
mate.
none of it.
That hasn't worked.
But so anyway, second championship, Jats. Did you feel like that? I mean, I'm getting the trend is you're not really overthinking much.
No.
So I mean, I'm setting you up for a bit of a thinking question.
Yeah.
But did you have doubts after that first one because you did win it? Obviously, you got to be in it to win it. There's no.
Yeah.
There's not even an asterisk. His bike blew up and you won.
Yeah.
So
Coasted to victory.
yeah, just cruised. Gave him the peace sign over the finish line. Dude, it was actually priceless, the reaction when you come across and like dad was there and you're like, you won, mate. And then
He's
he was
like,
like,
what do you
"Oh,
mean?"
sick.
Yeah.
That was like,
I was like, oh, rad. Yeah.
good shit.
You're
Wasn't
like,
expecting that.
no way.
Well, let's get ready for the after party anyway.
You're like, cool, that's good.
Yeah.
So what time's the after party?
was
So
about-
when and where is the after party?
You're like, oh, well, I came here wanting to drink to forget, but now I come here to drink to remember. But yeah, so when you come
Yeah.
into that next one, did you...
Championship
number two. Were you thinking that, or was there any like, oh, Hayden was faster last year, and like, did you let any of that shit get in your head, or you just kind of cruising business as usual?
Nah, not really, because I was mainly focusing on, because I had an injury from outdoors, and then I was coming back from that, and like even coming back from that, I still had a better preparation than I did the year before, because I only spent like 4 days on the bike before round one last year. And then this year I was like, I thought I was prepared, got to the first round, I got freaking obliterated. I got 6th that night.
Like, jeez.
I was like, oh shoot, yeah, this isn't good. I was like,
Maybe I should put some gold boots on.
all right. I was like, all right, it's not a good start. And then, man,
what was it about the first round? Why'd you suck so bad?
dude? Yeah, pretty much you said it. Yeah, just sucked hard.
No.
Yeah.
He's asking
Yeah.
why
Why
you
did
suck.
you
Yeah.
suck? We
Why?
know you sucked.
Yeah.
Like, we know
no.
you're good at the dirt bike thing, but why were you not
Yeah.
that good at the dirt bike thing at that point?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I was ready. I like had a decent preparation, but yeah, I just didn't have my bike set up right. I struggled with the track that night. It was really technical, and man, those dudes were just going freaking fast. And then not only that, like I got massive arm pump. I struggled in the main big time.
So that whole last year, like even through outdoors, you struggled with arm pump pretty bad, which is something you'd never really had to deal with.
Yeah.
Like even when you were in America, you weren't getting arm pump, right?
Yeah, no, not really, no.
What was it like? Was it just a setup thing that year?
I struggled with the setup a bit, and just before I got hurt in the outdoors, we started making the bike a lot better, and then I ended up winning a race finally, and I got on the box, and so like that was a good step in the right direction. And then I got hurt, and then I come back, and then like I just pretty much at the first round I was making stupid changes that just completely went away from my original setup that I had that was pretty good. And then at the next round I worked on it a lot and then didn't change much. And then man, pretty much after that, like I just consistently got on the podium, and a lot of dudes went down injured, so like that opened the championship wide open. And then
It must have felt good to not be the guy going out injured, because it'd been a couple of years where like you were doing well and then going out injured.
Oh, dude, yeah. And then, yeah, like before I got hurt in outdoors, there was a bit of a stretch where it was like, okay, like I've been healthy for a while.
This
like,
is kind of weird.
I was like,
Something should happen soon.
Yeah, something should happen soon.
Might chuck a pair of gold boots on at some stage.
Yeah,
I need a gold
And then
jersey and gold pants and some boots.
Sure enough, boom, 3rd degree separate the shoulder and then sit out for a bit. But and then come to like midway through the supercross, so many dudes went out injured. It was insane. And
Were the tracks any harder, or like what was it?
Nah, man, it was just some guys. Well, for Hayden, it was pretty unlucky. He just a hay bale rolled out onto the track, and he hit it, and the way he fell, like it messed his back up a lot, and like he broke his tailbone, I think.
Oh.
So
That would be horrible.
Oh
shit.
Oh,
Tailbone's like the worst thing to hurt.
Well, that's like
Oh,
Sealy,
dude.
did his hip and his tailbone.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, and he did it so bad that they had to operate on it that night.
Dude, that's
Because he was going to go back, because everyone obviously has like legit obviously the dude that did it was probably legit,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they
They've got a
all have their own
preferred
guy, and then they were like, nah man, we're doing it tonight. So he did his
that's
hip
gnarly.
and that was, it sucks because that was probably the best rhythm section of this whole year in Supercross.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
That whole track was probably the
sick
best
was
track.
That was like
Scan
one of my
section.
favorite tracks of the season so far. Was
That's
that
probably
Tampa race?
one of the best Supercross races in recent memory track wise. There's so many times where I look at the track and just go, why? Like what? Like what are we doing here?
Dude, honestly, how good was Justin Hill though?
He is.
Can we just take a moment to freaking realize how much of a savage that dude is?
Oh, man.
Oh my God. Freaking animal. Freaking Justin, if you're watching, I'm freaking. I was a fan, but I'm like your number one fan now after that.
That was
weekend.
gnarly, eh?
That kid.
I reckon he would have.
Yeah.
I feel like he would have won, or he would have definitely top 3.
Yeah, it'd have to be on the box.
Minimum on the box.
Jats and I were looking at the points today, and he's 35 points out of the Lights Championship.
Yeah, it's a long shot for him.
So I've got a feeling JGR's just gonna go.
Don't worry about it.
What's up, bro?
Hey,
How do you
dude.
feel? How do you feel about this big full fitty?
Did you see Travis put up a post saying?
Oh yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
How is that?
Strana puts up a post going, dude, they need to just let him ride the 450.
Yeah.
Isn't it cool that I guess it goes to show on a more of a serious note, no one wants to see what Eli's doing, what Marvin's like.
No.
There's something like when Travis Pastrana will come out and Instagram to 4 billion people
Well,
that he has followed
it's
him.
literally like
Yeah.
2.5 million people.
Yeah, like Travis is going to come out and say, let him on this bike. Like he's
It's
doing
sick.
something cool. He's exciting. He's bringing something. Like how is everybody else doing it that wrong? Like what are they doing that's not
and
warranting
he's got
that
personality.
response?
Like he's
That's
a
what I
legend.
mean. Like
and you know the
everything.
coolest thing was I saw like Josh Hill, who's obviously a massive legend also. He's like put up a post saying, you know, how proud I am of my brother. He's a legend, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, by the way, download his iTunes album.
Yeah.
How sick's
you
that?
ever
It's
seen?
so good.
Have you seen Justin play guitar?
He kills
Dude,
it. eh?
He's a savage man.
Dude, he's definitely got a career after moto's
Kind
done.
of just good at everything.
Yeah, he's a
talented.
like
I've never met the dude, but I know Josh, and he's just a massive legend. So if there's
There's-
anything like Josh,
well, they're different but equally as
Yeah,
cool.
but cool,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like I think it's a case with a lot of little brothers. Like your big brother can be kind of cool, but you can still pick up on like.
is this kind of like you and Maddie?
Yeah, honestly, like because Matt, a lot of the stuff.
So I'm
where
like pretty cool, and Maddie's like kind of cool.
Maddie's
too.
super cool. Yeah. But like you can so like in the case of Josh and Justin, like Josh was way faster as an amateur, all the things, but he made a ton of mistakes.
Yeah.
Like a lot of mistakes.
He blazed the trail for his younger brother
Yeah,
to come through.
he massively. But then he had the advantage of going like, nah, probably not going to get fucked up. Probably not going to hang out with the worst party animal of all Supercross Tour history ever in J Law. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of had that advantage. And I think just the personality stuff develops a little bit different too.
Yeah, for sure.
Like sort of a little bit less out there, you know what I mean? Like kind of keeps it in check a little bit more. But you end up with like this fucking rad dude that is now just killing it. And just the skills, man. Like the way he
How
rode
good
that
did he
450.
look on that 450?
And
I
there
haven't
was
seen anyone
even-
look that good for a long
Yeah.
time.
And just like the little subtle things that I think a lot of people in TV land wouldn't like.
No.
Emig didn't even pick it up, and I was waiting. It was because it was super obvious to me.
So you know more than Jeff Emig?
Well, he did win a title in was it 97?
90
He might have mentioned it once on one broadcast. I think he mentioned that he won a title. Sorry, Jeff.
While we're on Justin, we just need to shout out Johnny Louch, his trainer. Absolutely, he loved it.
Big treat,
Yeah, big treat, loves it.
dude. We need to like. I'll
Imagine you
probably
need to get
get
Johnny on the podcast.
Yeah, I will for sure.
Massive legend.
He's a cool
Him and
dude.
Langston together.
I haven't had much to do with Langston.
There'd be so many brews going on and just be out of
Dude,
control.
Justin Hill's South African accent is,
He is
so
South African.
on point, man. So have you heard him talk like full?
Yeah, I've heard it. He's got it
full
on lock.
dude. Yeah. If you didn't know who he was and he spoke to you in that accent,
He'd be like, what?
you would never tell ever that he was not South
He'd be like,
African.
cool Zulu.
Yeah, big mama Zulu bro. But yeah, there was like one
That
point where
was definitely New Zealand accent.
Big time.
Yeah.
it's so it's just weird.
Yeah, same.
But there was like after the I think it was the finish line before the start straight. Hill was coming off it was like a left-hand 90-degree turn, and everyone was going either like fully pushing wide or trying to hold that inside line. And Hill was landing off the finish line and then really controlled, really smooth on the throttle, not rushing it at all, getting to the top of that berm, and he was turning away, like there was a left-hand turn and he was turning right to the top of the berm.
Do you think it was because he was having like really big, geez, this thing's fast moments.
Possibly. I'm going to the berm.
You'd
I'm
only have
going to the berm everywhere.
Yeah.
Where's the berm? I need that thing to save me.
But he was going right.
What a rocket ship, and it will not stop.
Oh,
Oh, especially after hitting that freaking quad that he was doing.
every lap too. But he was.
Don't know how he was pulling up for that corner. Freaking Baggett
Same way
sent
Baggett
it into
did.
the yeah.
He sent it into the fishnet.
But he was hitting that. He was going right to turn left, and then going down the start straight where everyone was sliding to the outside or trying to slide and hold inside. And it was just like there was no panic. It was full composure, and like just those. He just did those little things right. And the way that he was setting up, he was doing
I guess
that
he would have no pressure,
every,
hardly any pressure too.
Yeah.
He's just like going out to have his first 450 race. Bit like Jats, just
Murray Bridge.
Yeah, just full Murray Bridge.
I just like passed everyone.
Oh, it was weird, I was that fast.
And then like, I don't know, just decided on Thursday to race.
Well, I just thought I'd race. So.
Dad did the math, and if he drove all night for 3 days, we could get there. So we're like, why not?
Yeah.
But like to pick your way around a supercross track
So
in your
gnarly.
first ever race, that says like a lot of good shit about him for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, like you said, the quad he was doing, ridiculous.
He was the only one doing it in the main, eh?
Well, I think Baggett did the quad, but then he crashed.
Yeah.
So anyway, Jats, you like getting really deep.
Yeah.
How about a 450 supercross ride in America?
In the States, yeah. Yeah,
Why
I
not?
might have to flick my resume over to Honda and
Yeah,
since they
we-
got two
Wow.
spots open.
We
Mate,
said,
you have ridden a lot of Hondas.
Yeah.
you got
Hey, if you guys are watching, just phone's right here. Yeah.
waiting.
He'll answer it.
Yeah.
Slide right into those DMs.
Shoot me a DM and let's talk.
I'm there. You and the Deuce. Now that would be a flagrant team on
See,
Factory.
mean-
mate, the thing is, though, if you ride a 450, you don't even need an aftermarket exhaust. You can just run a stocker and it's
I mean, those things have got some serious ponies.
Yeah, you could. That could be part of your pitch. Be like, hey, I'm really familiar with the stock setup. So I mean,
Yeah.
you guys don't even have to spend any money.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what they're gonna do. You said today they'll probably get Christian Craig.
That's what I'm assuming because, I mean, I don't know who else they're going to get.
Well, he rides a 450 pretty good.
Rides a 450 good, yeah.
I think it's safe to say Jeremy Martin is fucked when it comes to the points chase after just one round. So
Oh.
let's get him off. I can't believe like he just has done nothing.
Hey,
in
is
Supercross.
it just me, right?
Yeah.
Or
No.
or does the floor seem a lot slipperier all of a sudden?
What is going on?
Dude, 2 weekends
Yeah,
now
2 weekends in a row,
row.
people have been riding straight and just fully just grenaded
The
on the
freaking
straight.
factory,
But I've-
even the factory Dunlops can't get traction
Yeah,
on
but,
the...
I mean,
on
but
the-
honestly, like it would
Yeah.
be slippery as fuck. But
Yeah.
but I've never seen anyone else do it, so it just seems
2
weird.
weekends in a row,
Yeah.
dude. How
And
about
big ones too.
shout out to that? What is that bloody guy on the KTM, the privateer KTM? What's his name? He's on that white. They got the white seat
The white seat. What
Jeez.
class?
in the lights.
Oh.
You know that dude?
Yeah, well, there's two of them. There's
Yeah,
a team,
yeah.
right? Yeah, I know.
So
One's
what's
Josh
the-
Osby and one's Zach Williams.
Osby.
Osby.
That Osby guy. So
Yeah.
he's cost Dav the championship, and then he took someone else out this weekend because he's like the Michael Lessie of the lights class.
Oh.
He has no business.
How's about when he just comes sending it into the first corner and just grenaded the field?
Yeah, and then he did it again this weekend. He did it this weekend too. I don't remember where it was or what. It makes me want to say that he was involved in the Martin thing. But no, it wasn't because that was Smith. Just Jordan Smith. He
Yeah.
pushed.
All
But
I
that
know is
Osby
the
kid.
floor is
Man, they
very
almost
slippery.
punched on at Dallas.
Yeah, dude, that was heavy the way that
Dude, yeah.
old Smithy. He's a big kid too, man.
He's a unit compared to Martin. I mean, Martin's only a jockey, so far
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, if we're talking young pups, he is a young chihuahua.
Dang, for sure.
Jordan is also a scratch golfer.
Dude, is a
golf podcast.
assassin on the
We are.
golf course, I hear.
His dad manages like 5 golf courses in North Carolina.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
so
He could have been a pro.
I wonder if he's ever ridden a dirt bike around one because I'd like to.
That'd be pretty sick. I'm sure, like, if there was ever like a Renault or something going on, then yes,
They'd be
his
like,
dad would be
on you get,
the
buddy.
first one. Yeah, come on, mate. Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone.
Shh.
Straight in that sand trap.
Don't Instagram it live.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has been a weird season this year.
Yeah,
in
definitely.
the supercross stuff, like a little bit disappointing. I think you get to like a.
I always get to a point like 5 rounds.
Yeah, I was going to say, you get to that point where you
get to
sort
the
of
point and you kind of know what's going to happen. You're like, yeah.
And now, like, what?
Still going to watch it though.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, what else have you got
Definitely
to do in
still gonna
Australia in summer, middle of the day, Sunday?
Don't care, still watching it.
I mean,
Like this
nothing better
Sunday,
going
I
on.
literally watched that and then played the Supercross game for the second half of the day.
Shout out to Fist Gloves being on a computer game.
Yeah, that's sick, isn't it?
Did that just make
Dude,
your life?
I honestly, I
Freaking
saw
made
that.
it.
I saw that and I was like, I quit. I'm done. That is it.
So do they not have to license
No,
your shit?
yeah, I signed a thing for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they sent me an email saying, hey, your product's on a rider, blah, blah, blah. Shout out to JB, Justin Brayton there for wearing the good proddy
The
there.
thickest eyebrows in motocross.
Yeah, thanks for wearing those because that's good. It seriously made my life. Like, it was fantastic.
Because they're not
Instagram,
taking any C grade Tassie championships to be an MX versus ATV.
Listen,
or
they're
whatever
not. They're really not. No, it's
not.
Monster Energy Supercross, bro.
Is it?
It's like full on.
Has anyone played it yet? Is it any good?
Man,
It's
I-
sick.
Have you
Dude,
got
I
it?
haven't even tried it yet. I'm freaking
so good.
chomping at the bit to get
I
on
love
it.
it. It's great.
Just-
I'm actually not very good at it at all. Kind of how I'm not good at riding.
I was
real
going to
dirt
say,
bikes.
does it just translate?
Yeah,
so
pretty
it's,
much.
So it is realistic.
So I like roll everything and then case what I do try and jump.
I cased a jump at Jats' Supercross.
I actually rode Supercross once in the Derwent Entertainment Centre in
Did ya?
Tasmania. Tell you what.
How'd you go?
There was a secret. It was a junior 125, right? That's what they called it back in the day. And there was like 3 of us in the last chance qualifier.
They took the top 4.
Yeah. And like me and a mate of mine, Adam Dance, and another bloke who we used to like grew up racing with, were in this. And like, so we used to race club days against each other. So like we were racing all the time. And we literally, like, I had the lead like 9 times and got 3rd. Like we all just like pass. It's sick. And I think Adam's actually got it. His mum was filming it.
Oh.
And it honestly looks like we are in slow motion because we were. You know how Jats talks about throwing the anchor out? Like I started with 2 anchors out. I was dragging these 2 anchors around this
Dropped them
Supercross track.
out on the gate.
And I just remember coming around, right, and seeing this dude I used to race with, Chris Stevens, right? And I'm riding C grade, like absolutely hopeless. And like it came around and there's like a triple going this way. And so I go around, I see Chris jump the double into the triple and I'm like, but because we were rolling all 3. That's how hard we were killing it. And so anyway, I see him jump the double into the triple and I'm like, I've got to do it now. And I came around, jumped it, and I thought I was such a lord. Like, I thought I was killing it so hard.
I'm just picturing Sam in the KTM 50 challenge.
Oh, dude, yeah, but
yes.
riding
When
like
you see one of the kids that gets the nuts to jump any double.
Yeah. And that's pretty much what it was like, except for I was riding the very first Yamaha YZ250F. It had the
Oh, the little hot
decompression lever.
decompression thing.
And I was
yeah.
I had a blue bike, right? And I
You
was
know
running.
who had one of them?
Yeah.
Pazzuti.
Dude.
And I was running orange handguards. Like, I thought I was killing it.
Oh, dude, my only like comparable story is when I moved down to work for Stroke for Konski. He was doing. Remember when
I remember that. I remember being in that office once when you were working there.
Really?
You're a journo, bro. I used to do the Tasmanian column.
you did do that.
That was when we would have first met.
I don't
in that
remember that
office.
though. I only
Ouch.
remember you as Rockstar.
No. We definitely met at Stroke.
Dude, my memory back then, I actually wonder. Burn.
My heart.
I actually, my memory from, I think I had such a shit time at Stroke that I actually had
You
a
got
stroke.
full men in black. Where you just go, dunk, go on, memory.
I actually had a stroke to where my memory and my left side of my face doesn't work
I just
anymore.
love that you're a journalist of a magazine.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
That's all I want to do. Like when I left school, all I wanted to do was be a journalist because I was good at writing, and I was like, "This is my ticket."
Writing or
Right?
riding?
No. Let's be very clear.
That's what I'm doing.
WRITING. That's it.
Our friend Jackson, he's good at the riding
The
bit.
other one, yes.
Yeah.
But I got there and I was like super pumped on it for a bit. I thought it was the sickest thing ever. And it was when Craig Anderson was on Konski's Honda team. So Konski had the Honda team, and then he was doing those supercrosses. He had like those 2 stadium events.
To be honest, I think that supercross that I was talking about, me jumping the double in, I think Uribe was running that.
Really?
Yep.
Was it in
Tassie,
Tassie? Yeah. Oh, dude, I do remember that he was doing a Tassie
Did you
one.
cover the event and say that I jumped the double or no?
Did not. Oh. You know, so I can't remember.
Burn.
Burn. The
2-time supercross.
2-time gypsy burn.
2-time gypsy burn.
Where was the there was a supercross track that a supercross event that he did somewhere in Melbourne, and anyway, he said to me, he's like, oh,
was it the one with the massive jump? It was like Avalon or something, wasn't it?
It might have been Avalon.
I just remember that one because it had a huge booter in it.
Well, maybe it wasn't that one because I did all the jumps and I definitely didn't do a huge booter. But
you did all the jumps. You jumped triple and everything.
Yeah, I jumped the whole track. But there wasn't. I wouldn't say there was a huge booter. But there was. Yeah. So anyway, Conti's like, oh, I don't really need you to work at the event. Do you want to race? And I was like, well, I don't have a bike. I just moved. Like I just literally flew down from Cairns to Melbourne with nothing. Yeah. And
surprising.
Gypsy.
Surprising, really?
I was 18. I didn't even have my full driver's license. I got my open driver's license while I was working.
I was driving a horse and cart.
I had my P's. I couldn't have 2 Clydesdales. I could only have one.
one Clydesdale.
But so then I said, oh, I don't have a bike. So he's like, oh, look, I've got Ando's bikes from last year.
What?
I never even rode a 450 before. And then
what do you mean?
Welcome to the freaking show.
Welcome to the big league, Jip. And then he
you just strapped this plane between your legs.
Yeah, and it was his
rocket ship.
It was his race bike, dude, from the year before.
Oh,
I never even rode a 450. Never done a concrete start. Nothing. Like the whole thing was just like completely new to me. And I'd only done Townsville Stadium. That was the extent of my supercross.
It's a good starting point.
And Jatz's track, right? So I was like, look, he said it's stadium, it's not supercross. I'll be able to do it. I've never rode a 450. Surely I could figure it out. And
it's the gypsy life. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, it'll happen. So then the first race, I spun off the gate like so bad. And then so like, you know, on a concrete start, you'd light it up, but then you get traction.
Yeah.
And I went the whole way down the start straight. Almost couldn't stop for the
that
first
thing
turn.
Would have been a tractor too.
Dude,
like,
it was
would
an
have been
animal.
Gnarly.
Yeah, it was an animal, and it was so stiff. Like I remember the seat was stiffer than my rear shock on my bike in Cairns. So like it felt so bad. And then Ando was like,
I mean, Ando was probably slightly faster than what you were at that point.
And I'm not.
And this is like Craig Anderson that just come back from America.
This was like
so he's like
Craig
full
Anderson.
legit, like killing it.
And he was probably 25 kilos heavier than me. So then anyway, I like
non-surprising.
I fucked my way around the track, and by the last lap of the first race, I was like, all right, I think because by the first few laps, I was like, I'm not going to do the second. I almost pulled off. I was like, fuck, this is stupid.
Not fun. I feel like I'm going to die.
Ridiculous. Last lap, I passed a couple people. I'm pretty sure there was a chick racing. Definitely passed her. And so
no need to be sexist.
No,
easy.
mate. I've got 2 words. Jats will know 2 very well. Janella Vecchio.
Oh yeah.
All right. I spent years getting beaten by a very fast chick. All right?
I mean, you want to talk about a rivalry back in the day? That was one of the bigger ones.
So it was close to home. All right. It was I was in Melbourne by myself, but it was close to home. So then anyway, the second race comes around, second chance at a concrete start, get the whole shot.
Oh, stop it. Is it because you laid down like tons of rubber on the first one?
It must have.
There's a whole tyre of rubber.
The thing was pretty much a slick by the time you freaking got to this start.
Yeah, so I went from...
It's got no knobs.
I went from an MX-32 to a full-blown
He
Scott
sprayed
Saul
contact
motor.
cleaner all over the tyre, so it's grippy as.
And then, so I get the whole shot, and I remember laughing at myself.
I have done that.
And I was like...
On a dirt bike, it's like, holy shit.
I was like, this won't last. And there was like 5,000 people there. So they did the races. It was like after the pro lights.
Now tell me, were you running Ando? Were you running the 100?
Numbers and everything, dude.
Dude, you had the
I had the whole thing.
You were running
the 100 and everything.
I didn't
Were you
even
wearing
have
the
gear.
red
I was wearing all of his gear.
They were like, what is Ando doing out here in Clubman?
And then the funniest thing was like Brad McAlpine was one of the factory Honda mechanics, and I was going around telling, because I knew knew I'd suck.
Yeah.
So I was going around telling everyone that I was Brad's nephew to try and embarrass him. And like, he was this super shit kid. And I was like, he's probably shit if his nephew's this shit. So I get the whole shot and I'm like laughing to myself. And I don't think I'd ever won a race at this point. Like, I legitimately don't. I think
if you're going to win a race, it should be
that
on
should be
Ando's
on
bike.
Ando's factory bike. But I think the only races I would have ever won would have been in B grade lights racing with A grade people.
Yeah.
So like you kind of win, but you don't really win.
You're not actually.
You're not winning.
You're not crossing the line
yeah.
first. You're from Cairns. I'm from Tasmania. I feel you.
We know.
One
we
class.
know. Jats wins.
Class.
Jats wins.
Jats wins. We're about 20th, but we're winning C grade.
Sort of winning.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I did a lap and then I could hear a dude behind me and I was like, fuck, I'll just hug the insides. Like, I'll at least try and avoid the inevitable. And then the next lap, he just wasn't there. And I don't know, to this day, I don't know whether he crashed or whatever. So then I'm just like kind of cruising out in front. And it was the weirdest thing. Again, never won a race. I felt so slow. Like I felt like I couldn't go slower if I tried. And then I ended up doing like a big fist pump as I like cross the finish line in clubby opens.
Did you point up? Did you point up at the sky? Yeah.
Touch my chest and point
Doing
it
that
up.
one.
But then that was it. And like no one was there. Konski fucking didn't even like me. So like the only dude I knew at the Supercross track was just like no one was stoked.
No one
knew me. Like
he didn't get even one high five.
I didn't like. I legitimately the only person I knew there was Josh Sheehan. And he snapped both his wrists like 3 hours before.
So he wasn't happy.
So he didn't give a fuck that I won. It was just the weirdest experience because like, it should have been so cool, but it was just like so anticlimactic and just awkward because like I won on Ando's bike.
It should have been one of the greatest moments of your life.
And then when you put it in perspective, you're just like, you just won like a fucking consolation race at a not even a Supercross.
And you didn't even get a high five.
But it was, and then I rode back and I was like, I don't even remember what van like how I got there, how the bike got there. I don't remember
you would have got there in someone else's van.
Yeah, surely.
None of the things would have been yours.
Yeah, I just remember like that was the last race.
Didn't you drive like a Vito?
So I bought Joel Ryan's Vito.
But didn't you drive something from
I drove ridiculous? I drove from Melbourne to Cairns. So I quit on the spot.
Because I saw you somewhere full random, and you were like on the way to Cairns.
Really?
But like, I saw you like in Sydney or something. Like it was something real random. I remember it was a red Vito,
red
and you were
Vito.
like driving
Still
to
got
Cairns.
it. Have you blown up? Yeah, it's at a mate's farm.
Stop it.
Yeah,
we should be doing the podcast out of that.
That's the.
Why isn't this podcast not being done out of the back of a van?
That should be what happens.
Yeah, definitely.
But
someone else's van, not Jason's.
Yeah.
I quit stroke like on the spot. I just took all my shit because I used to stay with Subby in Geelong, and then one day I got up, I was like, fuck, I'm over it. I didn't even like. I drove into work because I didn't have enough money to get the train, and the train was $4.20.
$4.20.
What a coincidence!
So I was like,
what a coinky dink.
So I was like, fuck this. I'm not like stressing on because I'd be like, oi man, I can't.
My gypsy tears will fuel this car.
Yeah, I must have had fuel in the car. Maybe Dad gave me money for fuel or something. But I remember I called up Urive and I was like, oi man, I'm not coming in today. He's like, why? I was like, I don't have enough money for the train. And he's like, we'll drive. And I'm like, it's not really the point of this. Like if I'm working a full-time job and I can't pay for a $4 train ride, something's really not going great with his job. So anyway, I just drove. I packed all my shit and then just drove. And then Consi's like, oh, so you ended up driving? And I was like, yeah, just to quit. And then I literally drove from there to Cairns, and I drove through Burke, and I spun the car like 6 times because we got like a torrential downpour.
Heavy.
Jeez.
Got stuck there.
Did you get some of that cola that Ty's always drinking?
back of Burke, yeah.
Oh,
so yeah, there's
the best.
Stop it.
How did we get to because of MX versus ATV.
Oh
Yeah, that's where it all started.
Tangents are a beautiful thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
So Jats, let's talk about you for a little bit more.
We should just call it tangent tales.
Oh man, they're all like this though. Like you start doing it and then someone says something and you just get excited. You drink a bloody Tawley, a Great Northern,
No, a tally. Let's just look at how much he's actually.
I told you this is the hot.
Surely that thing's gone off by now.
This is the hourglass.
Yeah, definitely.
I got to.
We've been here for like 4 days.
Yeah.
Oh, no, morning. Morning, guys.
Oh, Matty's back.
Matty left. Eddie's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get a text that just says, "Oi, man, just lock it up. Hope it goes well." You're like, "You're a legend, Matty." Right. So this year, let's circle back, and then our hourglass is almost up.
Yeah.
What are you expecting? So you've got. Let's shout out to the Adelaide 500 split rim skin.
Yeah.
That you're
split rim skin. Yeah.
The split rim skin that you're about to win this weekend.
I'm
in
excited.
Adelaide.
I'm excited.
It's actually a pretty sick idea.
Yeah.
It's a very sick idea, and I can't wait to see you just feed the dog.
Oh.
Now, have you
Ask
got...
Konski
have
if you
you
could
got-
ride Ando's old 450. It's a
Yeah.
proven race winner.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
honestly,
100%.
those things are that fast. I don't reckon you just start and you just go, and you just jump the whole thing.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, that's it.
So you're riding a 450, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to be on the 4 fatty this weekend.
The big
Are
boys
you going
still.
to pull a full Justin Hill?
Huh? Oh, shit.
You're on a
Yeah.
450 well, Jats.
Yeah.
Have you got
no.
an exhaust or just...
I think there is talk of an exhaust being on the bike this weekend.
But
so.
let's get it right, guys. The GoFundMe page is for his 250, not his
Yeah.
450. We do still need a pipe for his 250.
Yeah.
Because we're rocking up at QMP and
Two-time. Supercross.
We're rocking up at QMP and you're just running like the stocker. And then there's guys like
Have you got
me.
tape numbers on that?
No, he's got
Yeah.
graphics. No,
Oh,
he's
has
got
he?
graphics.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, man.
So this is actually your 450 debut. Let's get a
much.
hype piece out of this.
Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's get a hype piece. We were gonna end the podcast when this was done, but now we've just decided, since we're having tech issues, we're losing like camera by camera by camera. We're just gonna record until it stops. Everything. We've just lost one
You know-
camera.
you know
so
what-
we've got 2 down, 2 to go.
Hey boys, till the wheels fall off. Till the wheels fall off. We just keep going.
Shred till dead.
I mean, honestly, who is going to listen through
All
3
of this.
hours of this
All of
absolute
this dribble.
garbage? Like, people are going to like go, oh yeah, cool, and they're going to fast forward to the bits where Jats is talking about his racing, and the rest of the time they're going to be like, fuck those guys. Like, listen to what they're talking about.
Make gloves, bro.
Yeah.
Shut up and dance and make gloves.
Make gloves, not war. Peace and gloves.
Glove up, Sam.
Glove up.
Wait,
No glove, no love, right?
who inspired the name? I mean, what inspired the name?
Honestly, I wanted a 4-letter name. And then I was just, it's actually not what, like everyone thinks it must be like some kind of sexual connotation. It's actually not. I was just like, right, I want something that's to do with hand, something to do with hands that's 4 letters that isn't hand, because obviously you can't call it hand.
Yeah.
Handwear. I mean, you probably could.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much where it came from. And I was looking at it the other day. It was 2010.
Yeah, you've been going at it a while.
Been going at it a while. Like, I mean, not seriously, but I mean, sort of serious now, I guess.
You've
I mean,
been going at it as serious as that shirt. Like, it's still a shirt.
Yeah, it's still a shirt. Like, it exists, but I mean, I wouldn't, I mean, the last few years it's been semi-serious.
You're killing it.
Like, I
love it.
Just trying to sell a few gloves. I mean, I've been trying to put Jats on the team since like 2009 or something, and he keeps avoiding me.
No,
It's weird.
man, it's just freaking this sponsor stuff, bro. Freaking.
Yeah, these actual sponsors that do
Yeah,
actual
these-
things. Oh,
They're like
Yeah.
fully baby. Like, it's such
dude,
a
they
drag.
fully get in my way.
Oh, man.
All I want to do is a fucking bro deal.
Yeah,
With one of
and
my
all I
friends.
want to do is hang out with Jats.
I just want the freaking bro deal, just where it's discussed, it's sealed over a set of knuckles, and then that's that.
Exactly.
But yeah.
You know what I mean?
But yeah,
Like,
but now we're freaking tied to this contract stuff, which I was freaking never come across in my life until a couple of years ago.
yeah, that you were free as a bird for a long time.
Oh, I was a full-blown free agent for my whole career until 2 years ago.
Yeah. Now it's like all I want to do is just wear a product that conflicts with what you're trying to sell.
With
Yeah.
everything else.
Like,
It's crazy.
Like, okay, I get it. You're trying to sell this gear, but put some fucking donuts on your gloves and maybe I'll run them.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Sam said I could have my own leopard print flamingo signature series. That's the best thing about Fist. Like, if you sign Jats right now on this podcast and you go, all right, what's your idea of a good glove?
Which we can't because he's contractually bound, obviously.
This is hypothetical over a podcast.
Yeah.
Jats could say, I want leopard print base, flamingo accents. And it would be in production in 3 days.
Absolutely. We would start the artwork tomorrow. The weirder things are, the better they sell, which is just hilarious. Because the funniest thing is about this shirt is we actually did a glove, which is pretty identical to this. And then I found the shirt after it. And so many people are like, is that a Fist shirt? And I'm like, no, it's not actually. I bought it at Walmart for $8 in Temecula. And they're like, oh yeah, but it's just like, I'm like, yeah, well, we do have a glove with a unicorn and rainbow and cats, and but our cats have actually got grenades.
Did you print that shirt because of the yes vote? Or did the yes vote come after that?
No. The yes vote came because of this shirt.
Yeah.
People were like...
That's what set the tone.
Yeah, well, shit. I mean, obviously. It's got to do with the gloves. I mean, we put them out and then all of a sudden...
Fist, yes vote, rainbows, it's all there.
Yeah.
If you really look into it.
I'm not saying that I do set the tone for the country, but what I'm saying is I set the tone for the country.
What I'm saying is this happened directly because of me.
Yeah. I mean, the other good one is we do a pineapple glove. I mean, well, it's actually not a pineapple glove, it's a pina colada glove. So it's got all the ingredients of a pina colada cocktail on it, which I really, really like.
You don't drink.
I've had a couple
Alright, so if you drink, you like pina coladas?
Yes.
On the rare occasion.
In me off season. I like to drink pina coladas.
My name's Sam and I drink pina coladas occasionally.
Yeah.
Alright, so Jats is going to be at the Split Rimskin Adelaide 500. Shout out to Dave and his crew.
Hey, Dave Ellis, you legend.
G'day, Dave.
2-time supercross.
So 450. So we've just skimmed over it. The 450 debut.
Skimmed over it,
Yeah,
like the
man.
set of whoops he's
Like
going to
the set of
skim
whoops
over on the
you're about.
weekend.
50 debut.
The
It's on.
debut.
Yeah.
Debut.
Did Pete just decide that?
No,
like, we're
believe
on
it
the
or
we're on
not,
the
Papa
450.
Pete did not decide on this one. I was like, you know what? Let's just freaking get the 450 out and give it a go.
And have a bing bing.
Yeah, freaking get after it.
What's the prize money? Isn't it like 30 grand?
30 grand, is it that much?
I think it's like a lot of
I have
money.
no idea.
I think
okay,
it
I could
is.
be speaking out my ass, but
like
it's a lot of
total
money.
over the, what is it?
Oh, is that like purse?
I feel like you
that's
should be
for like
racing
the
the
whole
two banger.
thing.
Yeah, oh, mate.
You could lend it to Jats.
Dude,
Yeah.
if Jats wanted to race that
Instant
bike,
crowd favourite.
Man,
Yeah.
could that thing handle the whoops
Yeah.
right now?
100%.
What do you mean?
Stiff as a board.
It's set up for Soupy.
Yeah, 100%.
Jason's got his soupy suspension in.
Yeah.
Can we make a deal right over this podcast? Let's throw it out there.
interest's sake.
Right.
Just for full on argument's sake, a couple mates over a podcast.
Yeah.
If you wrap up the series with a round to go,
Oh, I can see where this is going.
fully, this isn't tempting the universe. This is nothing. This is no weird.
Will the bike be gold?
No, there'll be no. So this is the thing. Because of the no gold, you might be in a position to wrap it up. So let's say if you get it done on night one of, because Jim Boomba's the last round, eh?
I don't know.
What's the last round this year?
Supercross schedule hasn't come out yet.
Anyway,
believe it or
Anyway,
not.
if we
Regardless.
we wrap this bitch up and it turns into the three-time Supercross champion, Jackson Richardson. So if that happens, will you race the Smoky in the last
Screaming Eagle.
the Screaming Eagle, and
Dude.
we'll cut the fenders up?
Dude, you're Screaming Eagle.
Dude, it's a 250. But is there a production rule in Australia? Because it's not in a production frame. No, well, it's a 450.
Definitely not production.
It's Uncle Pete's Chop Shop.
Nah,
Yeah.
wait, we will find him one.
No, well, the Honda doesn't matter. Well, no, we could get like a 07. Would you do it if you've wrapped the series up?
Dude, that's a sponsor thing. That's up
Oh,
to
fuck
that.
this sponsor nonsense.
Yeah.
How do we get away from
I
this?
know, man.
Wait, does Fist have enough money to buy Jats out?
If I did, I would. And I'd do that. Like, if I was to do something silly like that, that's how I'd want it to happen.
Do you ever have like, man, if Fist wins the lotto?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm going to get Jackson to just ride a two-banger.
the publicity that you would get. That's why I said to Adam Cincerello this year, and he made it out like after straight rhythm, after the 2-stroke class thing, he's like, oh, I should have done that. He made it out like...
And you're like, no shit.
I'm like, dude, I told you this. I said to Adam Cincerello, if he got Mitch to build him like a 96 Spitfire...
Oh,
125.
Stop
Yes.
it. With the chrome graphics.
Yeah, exactly. If he run the old school... I'm going to cut this into a social segment because I know Adam watches this.
Fuck right off.
Adam Cincerello.
Please.
This year at Straight Rhythm, ride a 125. Spitfire graphics. Mitch will tag you in this as well. Build it and they will come.
Yes.
You would win the internet.
Absolutely.
You would be slow as shit, but let's have a 96 KX or whatever the year.
Dude, let's get Carmichael's 97 championship bike out of the
Get
freaking
it out.
showroom.
It's there. It's doing nothing.
Freaking.
It's a relic.
It's ready to go.
It's ready.
Some fresh oil. Throw some fresh oil in it. Maybe a top end. Nah, the top end would be pristine.
Nah,
Sweet. They would have rebuilt it already anyway.
But Adam Cincerello on a 125 doing just one lap down that, you would win the internet forever.
Oh, definitely.
It has to happen. And the
imagine how slow a 125
it would be so slow.
Oh.
Like honestly,
like
watching,
a 250 you kind of like, but
they were slow too.
No, but I mean a 250 2-stroke, you can kind of get away with it a little bit because they're kind of fast-ish.
Yeah.
But a 125 is like a fucking sewing machine.
Oh, dude. It could barely get out
Especially
of its own
if it
way.
were husky.
Well, they got those like the drop-in things at Straight Rhythm. Could you imagine
man.
like
Just not making it.
You cased it? Did you case that
you
freaking
just go like...
just nose off the freaking start
hung
pad.
a front wheel.
What happened? Oh, well, I didn't have enough power to get off the fucking ramp.
It was an experiment.
It went very wrong.
No, but in all seriousness, Adam Cincerello, I'll shout you.
Have a heart.
Do this
I'll
for
give you
do this for me.
three pairs of free gloves.
More importantly, give the fans what
they
they
wanna
want.
see.
Yes.
The people want to see it.
100%. 3 people have spoken.
Yeah.
No, but he would, and like I did speak to him about it after it, and he said that is a sick idea.
It's a sick idea, but they're not going to do it, Jason.
No, but he kind of made it out like I didn't tell him in time, which I did.
Yeah, he's like,
But I think he just scrubbed off it.
You should have had this idea months ago.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is I don't think anyone realised how gangster the 2-stroke class was going to be.
Oh, it would have been sick.
It was unreal, man. Like that is as soon, and the craziest part of it is at the event, the people just filed out once the 2-stroke class was done.
Yeah,
Like it was crazy.
I
man.
actually didn't even see it. I haven't even watched it.
Dude, do yourself a favour.
Oh, I will. I'll do myself a massive favour.
When Ronnie
When
Ronnie said in that post crash, the post race thing after he
I was
crashed.
so bummed that Chad couldn't race it.
Yeah,
That would have been sick.
Well, I think in practice it's crazy because he rode like an old bike in it, and his bike was so soft. So that was like the suspension he used to run. Like it was just and it was so soft. And he like after he did that, he was like, "Dude, I can't believe we used to run this shit." Because it wasn't even like a whoops, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So he was just
too gnarly.
Yeah, he was like, "Man, I can't believe how soft this setup was." But when Ronnie goes on live, it's obviously not TV, but it's Red Bull TV. For him to have the presence of mind to go, well, I had a 69% chance of making it. You're a fucking genius.
Dude,
How funny is
God
that?
You're a
bless,
genius.
God bless Uncle Ron.
You know, one of obviously AusX Open, shout out to the boys over at AME, is such a sick event. And one of my highlights was Ronnie signed me a used can with a shotgun hole in the back of it, and he's like, "You want this?" And just signed Ronnie and gave it to me.
Yes.
He's a legend. What he's done, but like that's what we were saying before.
Brought the fun back.
Then you see Hill that comes out and just is like super cool, and then everyone is pumped on him, and then you got Ronnie. It's like the crazy thing at Straight Rhythm, and I should have spoken about Straight Rhythm before, but you got Factory KTM that's got Marvin and Tickle, and they spend like millions of dollars, and like realistically, what are you going racing for? It's like get people to buy shit.
Yeah, to
you know
watch,
what I mean?
to pay attention to what you're doing.
Eyeballs. And you've got Roger DaCosta, Marvin Musquin, and Brock Tickle directly opposite Ronnie fucking Mack. And the people, like, I tried to go after the race to have a beer with the boys, and the whole Red Bull crew got everyone pizzas, so I took some pizza over. And
Full Jiffo style.
Yeah. I was like, they'll appreciate this.
It's like, cheers Red Bull, see you boys.
But yeah, like, because half of our dudes were still over there, so I was like, I'm going to take some pizza over to the boys. I couldn't get near him.
No.
There was like...
It was a riot.
Dude, legitimately. And
I remember out the front at Ozax when they were doing the signings, like at the monster truck, he was there, people were going nuts.
Yeah.
Full next level.
And it's like, that dude
and there was
is
a kid,
selling shit.
There was a kid dressed up
Mini Mac.
exactly the same as him. I was wow.
But that just goes...
When are we getting a mini Jats?
Oh,
I bet there's a few about.
Hopefully.
Dressing like I can only hope. I've got some crazed fans out there.
Oh, we can't end the podcast without talking about your Instagram videos.
I was actually going to say, this is one of the questions, well, not a question, but a subject that I wanted to bring up, whether you actually classify yourself as a racer or like more of an Instagram...
Influencer. Are you an influencer?
Or more like an Instagram blogger or like short video maker. And where do you find all of that funny shit to put on there?
Dad's couch.
Dude, exactly. Freaking Pete's couch. Every time I'm on that thing.
What was the first? I don't even remember. It's snuck up on everybody. It's taken the industry by storm.
I agree.
Dude, well,
But like, when was your first one?
Oh, man. I think it was that.
And how big of a role did I play in?
Inspired by.
When was your first big video that you did? Like, why'd you start doing it?
Oh, freaking! Well, I think it was
too
around
much couch time.
Yeah, bored.
Well, I think it started when I got hurt, so I had a bit of time on my hands. Yeah, and then Twitch was making all those Twitch mixes.
Yeah,
which are sick, by the way.
Dude, funniest thing I was watching at the time.
And you're like, so right, Jats mix it is.
I'm like, you know what? I'll freaking give this a try. I've got a bit of time on my hands, and I started making it.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, so many people just freaking started loving it, and I was like, oh, I'll keep making some more because it's fun as.
Yeah, it is.
It's fun as just looking on Insta for all this loose shit.
Yeah,
and just whacking it all together.
So
and then,
I love how it's like full loose. And then there'll be like a really good, like real, like clean video of you doing like a rhythm section.
You're actually riding.
Yeah.
Just to slow things down a little, and then back to the hectic stuff.
Just to build into a crescendo.
Give the fans a little rest.
But it's crazy, like, and I think more people are starting to do it now. But like, how the feedback you've gotten's been insane. Like, people fully love it, man.
People freaking love it. Yeah.
Isn't it funny
crazy.
where it's like we've just had years. I wonder where it all started. Like, who was the first one that did, like, Dungy took it to the extreme of like the super pumped, thanking everybody, like, let's look like a cardboard cutout on the podium. I love Dunge. But that's what
legend.
It went there though, like, and he probably took it to the most extreme level. But it's like, but then you get someone like Jats that's just coming out,
Captain Personality over
and then people love it. Yeah. So it's like, what's the downside?
There's no downside,
but it's like people
are scared. But you know what? People are scared to have like some personality.
Yeah,
Jats obviously not scared to have some, but like this screams personality
and fearless.
Yeah, it's. I just hated how like sort of
because
like everyone's gone that way.
Did you do that little cardboard cutout thing for a little while before you went full Jats?
I did do it.
Before you went full Jats.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, for a while I was like, it had to be this full, like you said, the full cardboard cutout. I'd like, wouldn't do anything, wouldn't like post anything out of the norm because I was like, oh shoot, that won't look good. And then I don't know, freaking.
I guess winning 2 championships in a row kind of.
Not even that. It was the year before when I got second in the championship. That year I was like, I don't know.
Maybe like a lightning bolt hit him and he went, fuck it, I'm sending it.
Exactly.
I'm going to send it online from now on.
Exactly. I was like, you know what? screw it. I'm just going to be myself. I'm sick of being the norm.
High five to that.
Yeah.
But now we're seeing like, especially in Australia, like more dudes. Not that I follow that many guys, but like more guys will be posting like cool shit, like because Wunter's pretty cool like that. Like Wunter was doing his fakey videos.
Wunter's
and
like,
he's a fucking
he's a legend.
He's a whole nother podcast. There's a couple hours in that kid.
Good on you, Wunter.
Yeah. But like, I feel like now you've almost given people a bit of.
Well, he just opened the door a little bit.
But honestly, I feel like people are going, fuck, maybe I can be myself.
And I think that's what that's what Ken's like in the US too.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Like he's gone, I'm just going to do whatever I want. And then everyone's like, oh, maybe you can just do whatever you want.
But a lot of dudes over there, man, it gets so weird. And I think that over here, you don't have. I talked about this with Adrian on the podcast. Like, you get these man friends over there.
Yeah.
And they, to like justify a paycheck, they'll try and like distance you from people on purpose just to like almost justify that, like give them a reason to have a job. Here, no one's making enough money to have
no
a
one
man
makes
friend.
any money.
Like, no one's making money. So there's no one in the middle. But it's like, I feel like, over there, it's just such a different thing. But here, you kind of get to like be yourself and create a bit of a brand. Like you've got a brand now, and it's like, I guess,
and it's weird video
mixes.
mixes,
fucking cool,
full jazz.
But it's like, but I guess the other thing is you, at least if you do the cardboard cutout thing, no one can really criticize the cardboard cutout.
No,
because like you can not like it. But there's
no one's gonna hate on it.
But the reason you don't like it is because there's nothing not to like about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, it's like vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, it's like
everyone kind of likes it.
Yeah,
well, it's not bad. It's just not that good.
It's never going to go down. No one's ever going to be super pissed about vanilla ice cream.
Totally,
definitely.
Like Jats, he's chocolate.
Neapolitan.
He's Neapolitan.
He's
all the
Neapolitan.
colours.
Some Skittles thrown in.
Yeah, it was Jats is cold rock.
100%.
Full Jats mix, cold rock.
Can I get the Jats mix?
Can I? What's that? Oh, just everything.
No. Then they look at you and they're like, "You sure?
Are you ready?
Are you
2 times supercross?
We're gonna have to get you to sign a waiver.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. We've been going a while.
We're gonna call it.
I think we're
gonna have to cut some.
Jats needs to go.
Actually, keep talking.
It's like 7 hours worth of
Jats
absolute
needs a burrito ASAP.
Sorry, mate,
Jats, it's like a bazillion o'clock. You are not getting a burrito.
You're on the Macca's program, mate.
Yeah.
You're on the 24-hour takeaway deal.
Give us some shout outs. Everyone, tell us what you're doing, where you're at, all that shit. Jats, you're first.
What?
Catch me outside. Tell people where you're going to be, what you're going to be doing, where to follow you, what you've got coming up, all that shit. This is plug time.
Plug.
Well,
plug time.
Put me on the spot, mate. Nah.
Plug an exhaust sponsor, see if we can get one.
See if you can get something.
Nah, man. Well, freaking, well, I'm going to be at Split Rimskin this weekend. Nah, well, it's the Adelaide Split Rhythm.
Adelaide 500 Split Rhythm.
Adelaide 500
Not
Split
the Clipsal 500 as I found out before.
Yeah.
That's been Clipsal for like 10 years.
Yeah,
but hey, Clipsal, if you want to throw some cash at me, mate, Jats.
Yeah, you've got some spare, buy him a pipe.
He's Jason.
We're not after much. Yeah, so you're going to be riding the forfeit.
Going to be on the forfeit this weekend. Forfeit debut.
Yep.
Yeah. So, that'll be at the V8s there. So, anyone in Radelaide, freaking come out and check it out.
And then from there, you're going to the States to do a bit of riding with Papa Pete.
Yeah, going over to the States for a couple of weeks to do some training and some testing and stuff. So, I'm looking forward to that and then come back and get right into the outdoor season here.
Have you got any content planned for the States?
100% I got content planned. Absolutely.
We're looking forward to it. This is like... what springs to mind right now is Hamish and Eddie's gap year. If it's like Little Richo's pre-season.
Little Richo and Big Richo.
Yeah. All right, Sam, what have you got coming up? How can people reach you? What are you going to be doing?
Listen, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. I don't know. I'm everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It's very busy, not doing much. I'll be at unit selling stuff.
Where
I'm
can
a rep for them.
Where can people buy your gloves?
At fisthandwear.com or any good dealer around the place, which is go and get yourself some gloves with some really strange shit on it.
This is your Ricky Bobby moment.
Yeah.
If you don't wear fist, then fuck you.
Apart from if your name's Jackson, you're alright.
Yeah. There's a couple people.
Yeah,
fuck you,
Jats. There's a
wear
couple
the
of
gloves.
They're alright.
Wear the gloves.
Yeah. But just doing as much as I can, trying to make as good a time as we have. As I don't know. It's honestly, we've been at this podcast for like how long now? A fair while. My brain's stopped.
Yeah.
3 hours. We're getting to 3 hours.
Yeah, but we've had technical difficulties. Is that
That's
it?
heavy. Absolute.
Yeah, that's a
absolute marathon. I feel like I'm pricey in the Dakar.
If it's one thing I could compare it to, it definitely feels like pricey at the Dakar right now. But I'm on the home stretch.
We've all lost weight.
So that's me.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for tuning in. If any of you have made it to the end of this,
Jesus,
fucking send me a message.
Freaking hats off to you.
If anyone has legitimately made this to the end of this podcast, congratulations first of all, but then DM me and Sam's going to give you a set of gloves.
I'll tell you what, I do these really good donut air fresheners. Fist donut air fresheners. They're fantastic.
Oh, I need one for the eye load.
I will send some to you.
If you've made it to the end of this podcast. And we're going to hit you with some questions to prove that you've done it and like give you not very long to reply so you can't go back and watch.
No, I'll send them. I'm good with it.
Jats, we can't end this podcast without your trademark neck snapper.
On the kombucha, let's go.
Let me just freaking say, it's not exactly my neck snapper.
Who's
Mate, you know who Johnny Danger is.
Yeah, but
I'm just the apprentice.
Shout out to Johnny Danger.
Shout out to Johnny Danger.
You're just a little pup.
Send us away with a neck snap.
There was no kombucha in there, by the way. That was empty 3 hours ago.
And that's it.
Drank that a long time ago.
That's that.
Thanks for watching Gypsy Tales.
Jeez, sorry about this, everyone.
Hey, it was fun for us. It might not have been fun for any of you, but it was fun for us. Thanks again, boys.
Over and out. Jesus Christ, no one's going to listen.